Hello.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Doing all right. I'm a sleepy meal.
Morning.
Hey, KJ. Good morning, Steven. Hey, Scott.
I'm wondering if Scott has recovered from teaching. Has it been like enough time to kind of like detox in summer break and feeling better, or if he's still in like go mode for a while? Because I know as a teacher, it kind of takes you a while, like to like I don't know, your body's still ready to get up and go hustle and teach every day. So it takes like a couple weeks in the summer to finally realize, like, okay, I don't have to go somewhere and do all the things today. And I don't know. Then fall comes, and then you're like, wait, now I do have to get somewhere and do all the things. So I hope you're adjusting, Scott.
Yeah, I think that was like the first thing I asked Scott. I was like, Scott, are you still waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning for school in the summer? And he's like, I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting.
Yeah, he's probably sleeping into like 5:30.
Yeah. I agree. Maybe 5:45 if he's feeling crazy. Good morning, Maki. She's over here looking at me like, hey, you gonna let me out?
Is he disruptive? Is he a little disruptor? He might have rugged Sin. Well, thank you everybody for being here on another beautiful Saturday. Um, Thank you if you retweet or share. We appreciate that too. Get more people in here, more conversation. Big week game jam, game expo is coming up. Lots of cool things for that. And I think we have at least one winner in the crowd, low poly models. Congratulations, you guys. I'm like not going into any of the exhibits until the exam or like till closer to the time. So your game looks awesome from what I've seen. Like when pigs fly, I think that's so cool. I'm sure it's awesome. Seeing what you could do in like 4 hours, probably definitely when you had, I don't know, 3 weeks. It wasn't even that much time to make something, but I bet it's awesome.
3 weeks. Oh my God, that's it?
I don't know, was
Um,
it a month? Three, I mean, like I'd say a month, but I think they had like travel in that. So I
yeah,
don't know.
you're right.
I could be wrong, but like usually it's just never as much time as you think you have.
Oh man, it's such a bright sunny day outside. Sorry, I just took a step outside. Let's see. I see Alpha popped into the space as well as Hugh Pow. I also see Hugh Pow popped into Decentraland. Welcome, Hugh. Always good to see you. Hello, Toxic Waifu, and what up, Jay? I know you've been busy, bro. Good to see you here in the space this morning or afternoon, wherever you're at the moment. And yeah, to anyone that would like to come up and speak, you're more than welcome to. Uh, even if it's just to catch up, we love to hear from you. Um, and and yeah, I mean, a game jam. Like, are there any concepts or any teams that you are kind of interested in playing first or playing their game first, Canessa? I'm sorry.
It's definitely between KJ Walker, low poly models, and like the bumper cars. I there may or may not be a donut bumper car in there, which for people that like donuts, got to try that out. But I'm like forcing myself not to just go and check it all out before the expo. I kind of want to like experience it then. Kind of what was the other one? There was another festival just recently, but I don't know. Maybe I should go early, get a bunch of feedback, but I kind of want to just let let them get it all fine tuned because I think they're still making like adjustments to things happening in game. But I heard there's 15 wearables and emotes that are being given away, so that's pretty awesome to see that much being passed out. And then some of the big game, like the names that are being like interviewed and stuff, it's pretty cool. They're pretty big in the Web3 gaming space. So I like seeing that there's, that it's like cross platform. It's not just solely like Decentraland creators. There's other people as well that we're bringing in to the mix.
That's awesome. I'm thinking, or at least like how they're making it sound with the name and the wearables. Did they finally take my idea to, well, it's not my idea. It was like kind of a collective idea to make a big festival out of Game Jam. Is that what they're finally doing?
I mean, I think so. I think that they've got like the opening act, they've got like the closing act, and
Hmm.
then it's 4 days long, and then different Twitter spaces during that time, and then different exhibits. I mean, it feels like it's an I don't know, expo versus festival.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. There's
Yeah.
25 booths. There's 20 Decentraland games. That's
Hmm.
that's a lot. That's a lot. But I don't know. I mean, it seems like it.
Yeah, I guess the method or yeah, my thoughts were more on a festival type of thing where like, you like something like let's say like the festival lands for Art Week, like how they divide out like the parcels or the areas and stuff. And like why not deploy top 8, top 10 games that were submitted or whatever to the plots and then like little streets in between, and you can walk to and from games and stuff like that. Maybe one
I
day.
think I think that's what it is. I think I've got the map right here. It looks just like Fashion Week, where you've got four, like in the corner, four big games in the corners. My guess is that those are 2x2s. KJ, yep, okay. I got the 100% from low poly. So, okay, those are the 2x2s. I think those were like the winners. I'm guessing of the game jam contest. And then there's a bunch of other little blips on the map that look like booths. Sorry, it's hard to say that. And then they're like Vroomway, Ratscape, Soul Magic. So I think that was like a way for existing game to put like an appetizer. It's like the appetizer. Like you and then if you like what you see, you can, click on this link and go and play the whole game. But then there's other ones like Loot Rush, Planet Mojo, Chibi Clash. Like those are pretty cool ones that aren't native to Decentraland that are getting a little exposure here. So we have to show them love. We have to like if there's a link, I know we're not supposed to click on links, but this time we should click on the links and go to the real big games so that they can see how much traction Decentraland gave them. Insert nervous laughter. Right there.
That's funny. That's where I inserted my nervous laughter. Okay, so that's cool. And in a way, it's like probably even slightly better than the concept I had in mind, which was like deploy the full game onto the parcels right next to each other, and have them have code wars where we'll see whose code will overwhelm the other person's code, and then shut down the entire area. But I'm guessing with like the booths, they'll be like linked to the game's DCL world, and then people can go to the world and play it there.
Yeah, you're robotic sinful there, but I did catch that part. Yeah, I think that's the idea is that it's like what would I don't know, I'm trying to think of what you consider it like in the real world. Um yeah, like exposition. Oh my gosh, I don't even have the word for it, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna nod and politely say yeah. Um like
Pinky
a
up. It's an expose.
expose. An expose of Decentraland games. Oh, I think that's a different thread, but yeah, I like it. Um, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. I like that there's a little bit of traction. Web3 gaming. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's up on the stuff, but it was a rough week for Web3 gaming. It's dead. It's gone. If anybody wasn't sure, it's gone. Dead.
Oh, which Web3 quote unquote influencer said that?
Oh, like all of them. Just there's like big battles between a lot of the big Web3 gaming people, and there was a meme traveling around Web3 gaming, and there was some really good discussions in some Twitter spaces. Yeah, really like I don't know, thought provoking of like we don't even like a lot of people they don't even play. We don't even play games. Like we don't play. Um, there's like we're wanting a Web 2 crowd to come into Web 3 gaming, but we don't Web 3 gamers don't even play a lot of other Web 3 games. So it was just talking about that. Though, like, how could we even expect a Web 2 audience to come in when we're not even like sharing the love? Which is why I think like with this, it is important to I'm gonna try to make sure I go to each one of these spots and like I don't know, check it out because they have a point. They're right.
Yeah, as you were saying that, I was just scratching my head, like, yeah, there's points being made here. So definitely, I guess I will share that thought with you, and support our game expo this coming week. Um, do you have any info on it, like when it starts?
I do not, but I can go peep the DCL page. One second.
And yeah, also I'm like thinking, I'm like, yeah, I mean personally, I don't play any Web3 games, but I honestly feel it's because my Web3 game hasn't been created yet. I'm sure like the day there's like something that I can play that I won't get bored of every 5 seconds, uh, and that actually works. no rubber banding, no nothing, then I think that will be my game. And going back to like kind of like what you were saying with like the whole like Web3 people not supporting Web3 games. I lost my whole train of thought. Crap, I was going to say something very deep and profound. Sorry, been multitasking.
I mean, I think like, any if you're playing a game because you're trying to have fun, like that's your motive is just to have fun, it's going to be totally different than if you're playing a game because you're going to like try to earn on like Web3 and get a token and farm it and then like convert it to, USDC, and that's like your
Yep.
job. Totally different motives, totally different. Like,
Yeah.
so I
Very,
think
very.
that's where people like it's just coming at it from two different spaces. Like, I want to just be able to have fun, not have any bugs, and like enjoy the game, and at the end of the day, because I know fuck, I if they have skins to buy, whether it's wearables or skins, I'm gonna buy that shit, and then I'm gonna put a bunch of money in it, and if it's a Web 2 game, that money's gone. But if it's a Web 3 game that I could sell it, then at least I can like tell myself I'm making an investment. So like that to me, the ownership of your assets in game is like huge draw for Web 3. But otherwise, oh, I don't know. It's like David and Goliath. I don't know how we're gonna compete with the big ecosystem.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, with like everything that you mentioned, like the transfer, like how long till Web2 games catch up to that and they have their own blockchains and their own networks and stuff like that where they exchange their assets. I think I think it's we're closer than everyone thinks, really. Like especially with Epic Games, like having different like Web3 games within their launcher.
Yeah, and Disney taking positions in Polygon, and then Disney buying positions in Epic Games. Like, there's just like one plus one equals two. Like, there's no way that those aren't related. And they got me so bad. They're like, yep, we just know, we just know if we put Disney assets on the blockchain, we're gonna get all your money. But I mean, it's smart. Like, this generation is gonna want to own. They're gonna understand. Like, they're gonna want to own their assets. But we've got Scott up here. Scott, how the heck are you?
Hey, good morning. Can
Good
you hear
morning.
me?
I hear you.
Okay, cool. Um, just gonna say some other good mornings. I see Rustan. Good morning, Rustan. Good morning, Toxic. Um, Super fun time on Toxic Tuesdays. I'm looking forward to your Christmas or half Christmas party. Who else is out here? Alpha Angels. I haven't seen you in a minute. Hello, Alpha. Hello, KJ and Low Poly Crew. Good morning, Hugh Powell. Um, Good morning, Flair and Enigma. Um, Somebody brand new. I'm going to give you a follow. Let's see who else is out here. Independent Music Universe. Going to give you a follow. Rob Nichols with a little nickel. Good morning. TK San or TK San. Going to follow you back. I see you're all already following me. Meta Wolf. Hello, Meta Wolf. Good morning. Stephen Jr. We already follow each other. Good morning. And Jay, how can I forget Jay? You're right next to me. That's how I missed you. Good morning, Jay. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all the work you're doing. Anybody who works as hard as you with the people, helping them improve their lives. I hope to meet you someday. Truly, truly, you're an inspiration. So good morning to you, sir. Um, yeah, I came up because of the talk of Web3 games, and I was in a couple of other spaces. Canessa, I don't know if you were there. Metamona is she's working with Lizard Labs now, and they're somebody that is an organization that's bringing together a bunch of Web3 games. So I go and I listen in those spaces. There's a whole bunch of hardcore gamers that they have come up and talk, and I'm a social butterfly. I love being in virtual spaces and hanging out with my friends. I don't want to shoot them. Uh, yeah, I've had ample opportunity. But yeah, I've had or I've heard this argument, for a number of years, and I wonder, like, has anybody done the metrics of, you know, that ownership of assets, right? It's like that to me just doesn't seem to be a big enough draw, but that doesn't mean that Web2 gamers don't want that. I just haven't heard. I I hear it mostly from the Web3 people like, "Oh, you can own your assets here on crypto, on blockchain, and you can take them wherever." Um, I hear that argument being made numerous times, but that's from people on the Web3. And then I keep thinking about the power of 10, right? So people that are innovating something new, companies that innovate have an overestimation of how valuable their product is by 3x. And the people that are in an existing market, um, they overvalue the effectiveness or how great their product that they're already with by 3x. So you multiply 3 times 3, that's 9. So if you want to overcome that inertia to get people from an existing market to overcome their whatever their 3x expectations or understanding of what they've got, and the 3x of the people that are overvaluing their innovation, you got to have 10x, right? You got to have something that's 10 times better than what they've already got. So the question that I have for everybody out there in the audience is there a Web3 game out there that is 10 times better than any Web2 game? And I'll hold my answer, but I want to hear from other people. If just throw up an emoji if you think that there is a Web3 game out there that is 10 times better than a Web2 game. Throw up a thumbs up. If you disagree, if you think there isn't, give me a thumbs down.
I mean, just even to kind of fill in a little bit of time while people do the thumbs up and down. Um, my answer to that would kind of be like no. And it's not even coming down to any graphics or anything like that or capabilities. It comes down to like server and capacity of users, like lag time and latency and stuff like that. Um, like I noticed this cool game Shrapnel came out like a couple months back, and everyone was very excited for it. It looked really good, like graphics wise, but then from watching like Brandon try to play it, he couldn't even log in.
Oh, shit.
So yeah,
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, no. I don't see anybody throwing up any emojis. I think I've stunned them into silence. I don't know. I think the answer is NFN. No, fuck no. Right? I mean, like Canessa, you're playing what is it? Is Fortnite, right? I see your crown out there, and then Brandon, he's our machinima expert, and I mean he's playing Grand Theft Auto. He's also doing machinima inside Grand Theft Auto. And that, which one is it? Is Brandon even out there in the audience? I think it's like GTA 4. So yeah, it's just, I think if it gets sold with realistic benefits or what, I think they're overselling it, right? And then it's gonna have um unrealistic expectations are going to be built up again, and then people are going to come and be like, "What the fuck is this?" and then bolt again. So it's like, come on, things seem to be ramping up, right? Even though we're still in a bear, it's I have noticed some things in other areas in the crypto world where money is coming back in and audience is coming back in. It just, yeah. So there's that. There is no Web3 game that is 10 times better than a Web2 game. And I'm not saying like take the best AAA game and the best Web3 game, because I mean that's just like even no contest, right? I'm talking like just any Web2 game that has a realistic following, right? Let's set the parameters. But then there's the whole other thing of what you were talking about, Canessa. It's like play for fun or play to earn. I don't think it can be both. I think that's a fool's errand. If your game is fun, then people are going to pay you to play it. If you make your game play to earn, then it's a fucking job, right? It's a job. If you're playing to earn, if you're spending time in any place to grind and earn money, that is what you call a job. And people can love their jobs, don't get me wrong, but it's still a job.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel the difference between like the grind, just the natural like, okay, I'm having a fun time, and then when you want something, when you're like trying to get something like, and maybe it's fun for a while, but I think that that is the fun factor, is just being able to have the freedom to like shut the game off anytime you want. I mean, look at like a recent game that, had a month long competition and people grinded away for a big prize, and um now there's some issues with their prize, and they're upset at the game, and they're upset at the platform, and it was not about fun, it was about an income, and I think it's definitely different, depending on like what region of the world you're living in, where play to earn gaming might be something that you can do, and make an income enough that you could, I don't know, support yourself, maybe not that much, but it's going to be totally different depending on if you're what region that you're in. And I think, Scott, there's a fine line between, the people like, I don't care if I own my assets in a shitty game, like, that I don't want to play. Like, that doesn't matter. I want to own my assets in the game that I like. Um, and some people don't care what their avatar looks like. They don't care what their weapon looks like, unless like if they have an NFT, and I'm just using weapon, but it could be anything, like a NFT mining pick that gives you a better bonus, or a t-shirt that gives you a better bonus, like that has value. And so I think, um yeah, it's like the perfect, it's got to be the catalyst between like you're enjoying it, you're having fun, you're socializing with friends like Wondermine, and or does it just get to be a grind, and then you go to mint your item when it's the mint day and the machine doesn't work, and you're kind of like over that. So
So Farcaster, blah blah blah. Oh shit! I'm just gonna talk about Farcaster again. You fucking right, I am. But sorry, I'm really salty today. I don't know why. I don't know what side of the bed I woke up on, but they've got this degen tipping thing, and Simple knows what I'm talking about. But it's like I have met so many artists on there from Iran, from Ukraine, from Russia, from Brazil, people from all over the place, right? And they heard about this promise of degen tipping, and they're hearing about about back in March and April when people were getting a million degen a day, right? Degen's at about 1 penny, right? One degen is about one worth 1 cent right now. It used to be worth 3 cents. Anyway, people are coming, and it's turning into the same thing, right? Where it's a play to earn kind of thing. So there are artists who were around at the beginning times, and since they got in early and they were lucky, this one artist made this comment that I made more in 2 months of gaining tips from my art than I did in the past 2 years selling on objects, selling on the Tezos blockchain. I mean, 2 months versus 2 years. That's pretty amazing. But what the overwhelming experience, the overwhelming number of people have experienced are people like this one woman that I'm talking to from Iran. She's like super talented, has her own distinct style. She speaks a lot through her art. She's got a lot to say, and she's she's not making any sales. She finally you have to have a minimum amount of degen to start tipping other people, and she wants to spread the wealth. Um, but it's like fucking with the amount, with the allocation. That's one thing, right? If you're not in the inner circle, then you're not getting a certain allowance. But it's like only the top like 1% are the people that are making bank, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So when you're when you're in that grind, there's always going to be the upper echelon that like fills their bags, and then there's going to be the 99% of the people that are left holding the bag at the end. And I think that's why, I don't know, it just seems to me to make more sense to pay your money up front and then have your experience, and then anything beyond that, like you know what you're getting in for. If you're Am I making sense? Am I making does it make sense what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
mean, it sounds
Okay.
like a pyramid scheme. It sounds like a absolute pyramid scheme. And that's that. Having been a really big player in a common poker game in Decentraland, like totally get it. Like I want new people to come in and put money in the ecosystem so that my bags go up. Like my fear is that across the board in web3, all of these, like the tipping and the coins, I mean, it doesn't work if you don't have people still putting in their liquidity, and not everybody can come away a winner. And like that's what sucks so bad, is that it is just way way too easy to lose your fucking money here in web3. And like, why are we wanting to onboard people when they're just going to come in, find the next big thing, put their savings into it, and then somebody else that's smarter than them knows when to sell. And it's sad. Like I don't know anything else to call it. Then it is just legit a pyramid. Like if you get in first, you're gonna probably do the best, or if you're smart. And
So,
I'm not smart. So
oh, come on now. Come on now.
just when it comes to like investing in play to earn projects, let's just say I not financial advice.
You've got one of the biggest hearts out there, Canessa, and I think that's worth more than rubies, more than gold. So you may not be smart, but you've got a really big heart. So that's the true value for me. And I guess that's what I always come back to. It's like I'm here to make friends. I'm here to make art. I'm not here to to make bank. And that's sort of my expectation. So it's like I don't think of it as a grind. I think of it as time well spent. But not everybody has that ability to be in that situation. But I hear you talking, and I'm like, well, isn't life a fucking pyramid scheme, right? It's like there's no guarantee. You come in, maybe it's the people that were here first, they are the ones that make the bank, and then everybody else is left holding the bag. uh we're all out here working hard, and there's just a few at the top. It's like how is what we're living any different than that experience? And we think it's going to come out differently. I don't know. I don't know.
I think like with the whole like I think people with the whole degen thing, like the example that you use, that like it started off as something like kind of like natural, and like people were like actually like being rewarded to like now it's like getting to a point where people are coming in to farm. Um, I think like the initial draw is like the cool innovations within the space, the being able to tip like through a social media like aspect of things like that tech is what was the excitement. Now I think perhaps maybe there was like a the miscalculation may have been to tying it to an actual token and not tying it to Tether, or like any stable token, because like at that point you are tipping stable token. You're not relying on the price of your degen being this much because that's what it is. It's at 3 cents, and then tomorrow it's at 1 cent, and you're like, oh shit, I lost half my wealth,
It totally fucks with
half
your
my
mind.
money.
Yeah, it messes up your behavior. It messes up, I think, the incentive for why people do things.
Yeah.
And
So
instead,
so what
go ahead.
oh, so sorry, just to finish up. So what they could have done is perhaps done the whole tip allocation thing, like the daily allowances, like on degen, but kept the tipping as like a actually, that makes no sense either. Eh, maybe not. Sorry, go ahead, Scott.
Oh, I was just gonna say it. Instead of it being altruistic, right? Th- this is me as an artist, working out, building out a community, right? So we've now got, I think, 150 people in WAC, which stands for Wayward Artist Collective. So it's just a bunch of artists that are trying to support each other in this environment where it's potential to, somebody whose daily allowance is, I kid you not, 20,000 degen, Sinful. That's their daily allowance. So they could come in and they could tip 1,000 degen, and what is that? $10? Yeah, that's $10. Um, and for somebody who's in Iran, 10 US dollars, that is that's a significant amount. Uh, but when the value of that goes down by a half or 2/3 in a week, it's like, oh shit, this is pointless. It could fall out. The bottom could fall out, and it could be over. And I think it's that stability versus that speculation. And I think the stability of it being tethered. I think you're absolutely right, Sinful. Um, and that's part of the reason why when I started out there, and there wasn't degen, they had the warps. That's always the same value, right? 100 warps is it's always, what is that? See, that's
A
a,
dollar?
yeah, 10, yeah, it's 100 warps has always been a dollar. Um, and you can you can easily tip somebody on their post 10 warps. So you can give them a dime, right? Throw them a dime, and that's directly in the application. And since that doesn't fluctuate, it's like you always know what you're getting. And I think it's that unpredictability that creates that, I don't know, that squishiness, that it creates the possibility to squeeze or slither out of a deal. It seems like, oh well, if this isn't necessarily sacrosanct, the value of anything, if it's going to change by the moment, then what else is true, right? I don't know. And it just seems like in a gaming situation, when emotions are high, um, there needs to be a foundational understanding. There needs to be something that is like, uh, it's always going to be this way. And I think that's part of what you get when you pay to play a game. It's like you've already put your money up front. So that will never change. That's always like, I paid $30, or I paid, $10, or whatever it is, an indie game or a AAA title. That's always going to be the stable thing. Whereas any other volatility influence. Yeah, I think it fucks with people's minds.
Yep, exactly. I mean, for me personally, coming into like DGen and Warpcast, like I'm like, I already knew something like this was gonna happen because it's like something that happens to me like all the time.
Did
Like,
I
and it
rust?
happened, oh, can you hear me?
I don't
Sinful
hear Sinful.
speaking.
Shit.
Can you not hear him, Scott? It's always like at the half hour,
Uh,
40-minute mark that the problems start setting into the space.
yep, for real. I'll let Scott like join back in the room before I continue, and I'll say hello to Steph and hello to Maza, Mean Green Doge. We have Dev in the house. I believe he's a first-time listener, so welcome, Dev. If you have any questions about like anything that we're talking about, or even Decentraland, just feel free to come up, request and come up to speak and introduce yourself. And same goes to any other new listeners. Thank you. And if anyone wants to come up and line up for a different topic, hit that request button. Scott, you're back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, so we were at talking about DGen, how it fucks with people's mind. Oh yeah, okay. Like it's kind of happened to me before, and it happened to me again with like DGen. It's like just when I get to a point like with my DGen allowance that that it starts to become like something meaningful. Like there was a point where I started to have like I think it was like 1,000 or 2,000 degen allowance, and just when I got that, the very next day it's like, oh, new season, everybody, by the way, your allowance is cut by 90%. So I'm like, yeah. And like I mean, even with big time like big time, if you came in this most recent pop and didn't weren't like strategic, they announced their leaderboards that they were gonna give this much big time to all these to this leaderboard, and like wherever you ranked was like how much you earned. um people kind of like made uh big time kind of blow up. The token went from like 15 cents or 14 cents to like almost $1, and then of course cruised right back down as like the money was being extracted as those payouts were being given and people were liquidating. Uh, so like, yeah, maybe like perhaps like a tipping concept, or like, some sort of thing that is more stable. But in a way, it could like you could almost even tie it to like your own network token, whatever it may be.
Well, I've already made my own token. There's like services now where you could go on right now and spin up a Mu coin on base for next to nothing, right? And boy, that's a fucking ride. So I handed over the keys to Whack uh, to to Jackie, and I found out about this, and she spun up a coin, and it was like um, I don't know. It was really what do I want to say. Uh, Heady days. It definitely got everybody excited, right? Because it's like, oh, all of the artists that are in WAC are the ones certainly that were there, like the 30 core group that were there at the very beginning. They're like, oh shit, And we took our DGen and we invested it in, it's all imaginary internet money. We're investing it in our own thing, and to see the price go up. Well, it's going up because people are buying it, and then everybody runs out of degen, and then it starts to flag. There's people that have way deeper pockets than all of us that are buying the hedge, right? And they own 10 million of whack, whereas everybody else has like 100,000 or 1 million or whatever, because it's like one millionth of a cent. um, but yeah, it's there needs to be stability, and I think you're absolutely right, Simple. I think having it tied to I hate to admit it, but having it tied to a fiat currency where you've got the power of the state, you got a bunch of nukes behind that almighty U.S. dollar. It does tend to um, calm the waters.
In terms as like for the masses as well as like at least until we start counting our currency in like Bitcoin, like the day that we could start going to the store and the cashier is like, okay, that will be like point four 0.4033 Bitcoin, please.
Well, Canessa, can you talk about this? Because, like, what was it like in Argentina? I mean, you were talking about having to meet a guy in a hotel to buy a suitcase full of fiat. When you went to certain restaurants or stores, were you able to transfer ETH or Bitcoin for a meal?
We just paid in pesos every time we went out. And so there was one place we went to that was actually a crypto like a crypto cafe, so like coffee and stuff, but they had like a picture of Vitalik had been in there and standing next to like a painting of a bored ape. And that place took crypto, but otherwise no, it was just pesos because there's a lot of weird things about even paying with your credit card, like the fees. My friends that I was with, they were like, no, 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 don't pay with a credit card, we pay cash. And then they just gave me their coins. They're like, this is worthless. Like a 100 peso bill is like 10 cents, so if you can imagine, coins would be like fractions of a penny. And I so like being there drove the point home of like how important crypto is for other world economies. Like in the United States, we use it because we want to, because it's fun to buy our monkey pictures and stuff, but we don't need it, most of us. But like other places of the world, they need it. Like my friend, I asked her, I was like, what do you think the peso will be worth at the end of the year? She's like, I don't even know what it's going to be today when I go to the grocery store. I don't know how much money to bring with me. And she said like a croissant that she bought in a month ago was 30 cents and today it's 60 cents. So when you think about that, I mean, we say inflation in the US, and we just need to like honestly just not say that, because we don't understand like the real ah like brokenhearted nature of like, what do they call them? They call them devaluation events, like specific events in periods of time where the money just drops. So I don't mean to go off on a tangent about world economies, but for that reason, like I think I have a deeper appreciation of like freaking crypto. And yeah, now I've bird walked, but
So no, I mean, I was with you on that bird walk. I mean, it's like if a, if a fiat currency is going to fluctuate that wildly, then what's normative for a person in that environment is it is wild fluctuations, and perhaps in comparison, crypto is more stable in a situation like that than not knowing if you need to bring your pocketbook or your wheelbarrow full of cash. And another thing that you said, it's like a hundred peso note is worth like a penny. They're already thinking, like one hundred thousandth of a Bitcoin. Something that was a really liberating experience for me was um, I used to run a service called Sketch It. I tell everybody that I sold JPEGs on the internet before it was cool. I was using PayPal, and I really only got, like, after what PayPal took as their cut, I made like 30 cents for every dollar. 1 minute $1 one sketch is what it was. It was called Sketch It. And then Bitcoin came along, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah! And Coinbase started this thing called BitPay, and there was also Picabit or whatever. But I sold a few sketches for like 1/10 of a Bitcoin, and then whatever, life moves on, and taking care of a family, and I kind of left it in there, forgot about it. I wake up a year later, and 1/10 of a Bitcoin. I mean, forget what it is now. This is like in 2011. And I was able to go on to newegg.com, and I was able to buy my next desktop PC with, I think it was like 3/10 of a Bitcoin, because I had sold three sketches or whatever. Um, so yeah, it was like $500 machine for what I had made out of three sketches, and that blew my fucking mind, right? Um, so that's like the upside of it, but then you've got the potential downside of um, selling selling your monkey picture, as you say, Canessa, or buying your monkey picture. Like all the think about all the celebrities that aped in and bought their monkey picture and paid like, I don't know what, $30,000, $50,000 for it.
Downside of
And then it gets, their wallet gets hacked, or ETH drops, by $1,000 over a period of like a month or whatever. Yeah, it's anyway. I'm rambling. I'm gonna stop.
Well, I think we are part of the lucky ones, and not to say we're early, but we're early, and I mean just even in understanding, because you can't just understand crypto without understanding like the bigger financial ecosystem, which I think most people, I mean, at least most people in my circle don't understand it. They still think that for every dollar bill that there's a dollar worth of gold and sitting in Fort Knox, and they don't want to
LOL.
do the research because it's hard to challenge your cognitive beliefs. Like it's hard to challenge that, like, our world might not be so fucking stable, and yeah, there might actually just be some bigger systemic problems that we're hurtling towards. And I mean, hopefully people, yeah, I mean, the 2008 housing crisis, everything like that, hopefully these things, people don't just think, oh, well, that happened to somebody else, that happened to them. Like what hits me is in Argentina, nobody, you don't take out mortgages, you don't go to a bank for a loan, nobody buys their homes with mortgages, they have to buy them upfront. So if you buy a $200,000 home, you have to have $200,000 in your bank. And so imagine saving up trying to get that money, and there's a event that causes the peso to half, and now instead of $200,000 you have $100,000. Like, one thing I didn't realize is that most of the people that I met have dual citizenship. They have their Argentinian citizenship, and then they have like a visa or a passport, like a um, citizenship in a different country, like, and their children do. So that's their exit plan. Like, can you imagine living in a world where you have your child go to a school where you can learn a language, where you have a passport, so that if your country's economy hits the fan, you guys have an exit plan, and like that's just normal for people to do there. So um I think that, like, whether we like to think about it or not, I think that that's also just something that we, the rest of the world's going to be facing more and more as time goes on. And I don't know, I do believe crypto to be maybe not the only answer to that call, but definitely like a big one. And then we are like at the gateway drug of crypto, like NFTs, music NFTs, art NFTs, game NFTs, like, so like it or not, like this is kind of the, I don't know, this is like the gateway, this is where everybody kind of maybe not everybody, but like a lot of people come into the world through these things that we're having exposure to on a daily basis, and then they maybe come in and dig deeper. um, so I think these conversations are definitely worth having.
Do you think the whole not your keys, not your cash, it being decentralized, the fact that there is no centralized authority. I miss Zesty sometimes. It's like, where when somebody gets hacked or somebody gets rugged, and you got to do that frontier justice, and you need somebody like a Zesty that can come riding in and be just like, okay, all right, motherfuckers, this is the real shit. um it just seems like these times we are spending all the hours in our days gaining this experience on how it is to not have the power of the state behind a financial system where you've got to really be careful. I mean, there's a there's an article I'll share with you guys later. I'll post it here. I was part of a hackathon yesterday. It was a writing hackathon, and one of the guys on there wrote about how to, you know, ensure better wallet security. And um, I was just like, holy shit, I didn't realize that that was possible. And the things he's talking about, I'm not going to get deep into the weeds about it, but it's just like, oh my God, everybody should be doing this. Just like when we hear about Wallet Guard, and like everybody goes and gets Wallet Guard, but it's like you need to have systems upon systems. And just like what you were saying, Kness, it's like you can't just say a couple of magic words or talk about one experience or one story and then have people like, oh, I totally understand. Your non-crypto friends just aren't going to get it. And I think that possibly the time that we're spending now is like, where's Jay? Is he still out there? We're in training right now, right? You spend the 1,000 hours of the 10,000 hours, running and jumping rope and hitting the speed bag. So when you enter the ring for those 10 minutes, you are in peak performance and everything is muscle memory. And you don't have to think about it. It's automatic. And the only way it becomes automatic is if you live and you breathe it. I don't know. Agree?
Are you telling
Disagree?
me that next bull run, I'm gonna be in like peak shape for like taking profits at the top?
You're gonna be
In my
so ripped, Canessa.
Oh my
You're gonna
gosh.
be fucking it up. Look out.
I would like to believe that's true because last bull run at the top, I was like a jelly donut.
Okay. You may have been a jelly donut, but like this next time, even if you are a jelly donut, everybody else is just the jelly. They don't even have the donut to contain it. So, you're still ahead of the game.
Oh,
I do want to jump in and invite our new speaker, first time listener and speaker here to the space, Rob Nichols. Welcome. How are you?
Hey, how's everybody doing? What's up, Canessa? What's up, Sinful? This is my first time actually being able to meet you. Canessa and I have met in other spaces. We've been following each other for a little bit now. So thank you for inviting me up, man. I truly appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Welcome to the space. I'm really happy you're here. What are your thoughts on our conversation here? Have you been enjoying the talk, or are we just rambling?
No, I'm listening because I'm really starting to really take like really serious notice and attention to things that's happening inside of the metaverse. Use things inside of the metaverse. So, especially having a music platform that I'm trying to, build out and find all kind of innovative ways to help artists, independent music makers, increase and expand their audience, as well as bringing the current technologies to the forefront to the masses, because there's still a lot of people that don't realize all of the things that we can do inside of the metaverses. And Decentraland, you guys are at the forefront of that whole game. So I said, let me buckle my mouth today and get in here and start learning how I can find out how to use the metaverse to push this goal a little bit further. I'm thinking like concerts and all because Independent Music Universe is a uh, independent music television network that's global, and we're just trying to bridge the gaps here with knowledge, information, and consumption, and the way people distribute, and all of that. And so that's why I'm up in here to hang out with you all, Canessa and Sinful, to learn some things, learn some shit. They say if you instead of walking around with your nose all snotty, you better ask somebody. That's what they tell us.
Well,
Drop some
definitely
knowledge. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, kiddos. I'm just
no,
like,
you go ahead, Scott.
drop that knowledge, Mr. Nichols. No, I love it. I love it. Real quick, I wanted to shout out old guy. I see him in the audience, and somebody from wow, I think I met you 2 years ago, Eva Boer. She's an artist. Definitely go check her out. Quality person. Always creating some amazing stuff. Wonderful parent. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Eva Burr, she provided some content for us, and I believe it was an event that we did I think November of last year.
Was it Make a Music Fest that you did the New Year's
It was
after?
the first one.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. I'm always forever thankful for that because it was like a presentation. It was like a kind of like a time lapse, or sorry, it was her art that was being exhibited at a museum. I'm sorry if I can't remember the details of which museum, but it was just like visuals of the art along with her music playing, and then in between, she would come in. At the time, she was on vacation with her family, and would give us like some snippets or like a little verbal preview to like the next song and a little bit about herself.
Yeah, and I love those vacation pictures and actually all the like cold winter skiing pictures. So yeah, keep sharing. I love them.
So back to Rob. I mean, there's a knowledge, or there's a wealth of knowledge, just in this space alone. As I'm scrolling through, and yeah, I mean, any questions that you may have, I'm sure someone will be able to help out and answer. Um, I mean, I don't know the size of entity that you are currently, but like the network is always the most important part when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, meet some people, uh and
Yeah,
yeah, never be
you're
shy,
right.
don't be
You're
shy.
right. Absolutely correct about that. I'm glad that you happened to mention Ibaba because she is our latest onboarded artist to IMU TV. So we're really pushing this thing real big. We're working with quite a few of the NFT marketplaces, and to make sure that we're bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3. And we want to make sure that Metaverse is a part of that because it's all of us together, and I'm just really excited about hearing how music and television and gaming, because we think trying to find better ways to get music artists their exposure, and we're thinking about how can we gamify music, how can we make it so that the fan will want to be a fan of this artist. Like, why am I just listening, or do I have an experience? So we want to try to create things that together that allow independent music makers and just people that just want to get freedom to whoever wants it to be able to utilize any and all of these tools to create better lives for themselves. So that's the ultimate goal.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I was with the last statement. I was basically just gauging. I wasn't, it's our first time meeting each other, so I wasn't too sure, like, if if I'm speaking to someone new in the space that's like really, motivated, or if it's someone that like, has that network and has like built these connections throughout the Web3 space. So well, I mean, happy to have you on board. I mean, the metaverse is a place where you can create kind of like a virtual experience to the concert that you're trying to provide. Now, it depends. The experience would depend on your, I guess, your coder's knowledge when it comes to Decentraland. Um, like I don't I at this point I don't know if we can like if we're at peak potential, but we'll see with our next client here. Um, oh wait, what happened?
I think he dropped down
Yeah,
and
no, I got somehow got, I don't know, something happened with the network. It was switching over, doing some crazy stuff there. So I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, it happens. It happens. So yeah, I mean, getting into at least as far as the Decentraland, it's getting in is easy. You just log in. You can go to decentraland.org. You download the client for the best experience, or you could try doing if you have a good PC. You can try running it through your browser. Um, and yeah, it's an open world. The Decentraland is the platform that in a way houses or supports communities on top as like communities such as like what we have going on here. We have Tank Poco with the baby dolls on there. We have Rustan, and he has like a big community behind him, as well as Aaron with the waifu mon. So like it it is basically what 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 I feel like you're doing is you are kind of stretching beyond just the Decentraland. So for something like independent music universe, it'd be good to, I guess, have a footprint or have a reputation in a way in each metaverse platform, which with each community, and yeah, and yeah, kind of like
Yeah,
push forward that way, build
that's solid advice.
connections.
That's very solid advice because I know all music artists and just all people in just general don't use the same tools, but they kind of sometimes do the same industries or do the same things. So that's very solid advice. Let me ask you, I'm sure many people that have their own communities in the metaverse, Decentraland specifically, stream live directly to say whatever their audience is that capability to say like through OSB or Switcher or that type of thing? Is that available? Because for what IMU TV, I wanted to do something like things like even if it's I work with Cavelli White and Altered Alley as well, and they work inside of Spatial, and they do a show called Shooting the Shit, and I know they can give me the footage afterwards, which I can put into a playlist. But I was wondering, could that type of thing be done live and streamed directly to the air while in real time in Decentraland?
Well, okay, yes, no, and there's kind of like technicalities in between at this moment. For example, to start, to stream to Decentraland, you would need to have uh an RTMP server. Um, and then through the RTMP server, you hook. I'm sorry. You start at Scott, actually, do you want to take over? I feel like you would give the best example of like
Actually,
OBS
I
to
actually
RTMP.
already think I'm very familiar with it, and we do have that. We do that.
Okay,
We
cool.
operate through a
Okay,
CDN where we have the RTMP server, the codes, the absolute everything.
okay, okay, cool, cool. So yeah, have an RTMP. If you own land, or let's say
He
you're,
doesn't gotta own
uh,
land. We'll hook him up.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay, but I'm just talking in general, like or like if you're deploying to your world or whatever, you take the M3 U8 link that the server produces and put it into your screen on Decentraland, which could be like a smart asset, or depending if you're operating an SDK, then I don't know, I couldn't help you there on where to put that link.
That's
But
beautiful. That was exactly the information I was hoping you was going to say. I was really, really hoping you said that, and you did. So that is incredible. We are going to definitely talk because I'm going to need to speak with whoever is willing to, assist. We're doing this for the artists. I'm not saying I'm not asking anything for free, but if there's a way that we can team partnership, do things barter, or whatever, or otherwise, please get in my DMs. I would love to help. I would love to talk to someone about who can assist me in building that. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a developer. I know how to do that kind of stuff, but I don't. I'm not gonna have the time to try to build a metaverse. You know what I mean? So I will need help with that.
Yep, yep. I mean, there are definitely plenty of developers even listening right now, or people that know developers that, yeah, can hook you up, or yeah. But what I guess, Kanessa, anything to say? I do see your mic is open, at least on my
Oh no,
end.
was
That's
it?
why.
It was closed on my end, but yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna like shout out Steve Sy in the audience. He's a performer who's done an awesome job of like coming in, kind of like observing the space, seeing what's up, playing a few gigs, then released a wearable, and has been really active in the music scene. So I think that's also just a good way to get started is just step in world, see if it's a world you like, and it's not for everybody necessarily. Some people enjoy the really like crisp high poly graphics that spatial or some other places might have. Some people like playing their DJ set in the background but doing like games in the foreground like Nifty Island. And so just I'd say join us in world, see, just kind of like feel the scene out. And then from there, I mean, people have done a lot of different things of making their like one of our friends Buffalo had like a NFT that he would sell, and then when you got that you had a wearable in world, and then you had special parties for the holders of that wearable. So the Decentraland, I think, really fits well with musicians, DJs, music, NFTs. But you got to kind of figure out how that works for you and your brand. So I think everybody's going to do it a little bit different, and there's definitely a lot of potential, a lot of opportunities, but like also right now just like a lot of limitations too. We're about to release a new client, hopefully next month is when it should come out, and then that will alleviate a lot of our headaches hopefully, but still it's a work in progress. So it's like inviting you into our construction zone. I'm gonna hand you a hard hat and be like, okay, things are a little under construction right now, and we're hopefully it's going to lead to like a really beautiful building at the end of it. But we just got watch your step, watch your step.
Yeah, I love that. Because being from a child of the '70s, you also you see so many things come and go that you just didn't get a chance to take advantage of, and you're like, damn it, why? And I know, not being at this age, a lot of people, a lot of my peers are either closing their eyes to the technology or they're afraid of it, because they're so used to the ways of blue, especially I'm in Michigan, so we're blue collar. So everybody's so used to getting up and going to get a job, and thinking that's going to be a sustainable future, or thinking that's how the world is going to be forever. So I've was always one of those people that was looking into the future. Back when we was watching Star Trek, and Captain Kirk would pull out the tap this with it. Scotty, we was emulating that, acting like that. We was using pins, so like that, or we'll break the antenna off the bike, off the car, and we'll let it up like we're talking to Scotty. You know what I mean? So we was visioning that way back then. So for this kind of stuff to be available now, I'm excited to be one of those quote unquote older minds that see it coming, and are looking to be around younger people and newer technology to teach and teach, because I know this is going to be the way of the future, and I'm happy to be around when you guys are still building. So when it's all over with and I get to look at that building as it's done, I say, you know what, I was around when they was building this building. You know what I mean? Like an old man get to do.
So, Nichols, let me ask you, like, do you think Barry Gordy, when all of his other friends were coming up north to work in the factories, like he took a chance, right? Like, I'm sure opening up a record store, a production company, did not seem like a really sound bet. at the time. So it's like nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Oh, that's for sure. It was not a popular decision. It wasn't a popular decision to think you was gonna be a singer or entertainer or anything at that time because of the big three. It was so easy during that time to just. I know some people, my mother and father's age, God rest their soul, that when they were graduating from high school, they had jobs at all three of the plants before they even walked across the stage. You know what I mean? So that was just the meal of what it was, and that's what it came to be. So when Barry did that, that was just beyond anything. And then when it finally started getting that traction, it we can see what happened. They just put the two together. Hitsville became Motown, and it's crazy. Crazy story. Incredible though.
No, to be by hindsight, it looks like, oh, it seems obvious, right? Because somebody like him connected all the dots. But to anybody else that's walking by, it's just a field of dots. And it takes somebody with vision and fortitude. Sometimes you got to move the dots so that they line up so that you can connect them. It's not like, oh, it falls into your lap. So I you will find few other spaces like this that have so many people out there that are looking for all of those dots to connect. Um, just I look down here and just everybody here is, they're hustler. Have you heard of oh, what's his name? Damon John. You know who he is, yeah?
What's the name again? I didn't hear.
Damon John.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So he's got a couple of books out. I loaned one of them out. Right now I'm looking at The Power of Broke. He's got another one called Rise and Grind. Just sometimes you just have to you got to do that, right? You got to get up every morning, you got to do the grind. And it's like I look out at this audience and I see everybody here. It's like low poly old guy, Hugh Powell, Tim Poco, Rustan, Steve, Mean Green Doge, um, JH, One Existence. Everybody out here that's like, yeah, they're out here, they're grinding. And if you put in with even a couple of these folks, I think their work ethic will certainly match yours. Um, there's no guarantee for success, but that's why the payoff is so sweet. So I just wanted to say welcome and excited to see what you got.
Hey, thank you, man. You guys are going to see me a lot more because just sitting here listening, wow, it was like really able to open up, especially when you come from a specific discipline or a specific industry. I thought my father always taught me that if you want to be a doctor, you don't hang out with lawyers, and that's not to slight lawyers. It's just that what really can a lawyer teach you about being a doctor? Except for medical malpractice law, which is important, but you want to be a doctor, right? So I always try to make sure that I'm someplace to where I'm being taught because you don't always want to be the smartest person in the room. It's not good for growth. So I like to learn shit that I don't know. I like to be challenged. I like to be put. Hey, that don't sound right, Rob. You might need to go and research that, bruh. That's the kind of person I am. So you all will see me all a lot more. Canessa hear from me a lot more, and I'm just ecstatic. I've never witnessed anything like this. I'm so happy. I'm telling so many people that I know, my friends, about Web3. I say, I tell them, I say, even if y'all don't even have anything to say, like, offer, like, you don't have your own business or anything like that. I say, you'll be surprised at the wealth of information and the friendships that I've made just from being in these spaces, just hearing about somebody that may have had the same interest about honey badgers. Honey badgers is my favorite animal. And I've met so many people because of honey badgers in this space. You know what I mean? So I tell them just the worth, the value of that alone. You
Honey
can't.
Badger doesn't give a shit. Have you seen that video?
That's a bad motherfucker, ain't it?
Oh my god. Oh, I gotta go find it and put it up to the jumbotron here. That is fucking hilarious. Thank you.
Okay, well,
Thank you. Thank you.
while you find that, I did put something else in the jumbotron. Rob, I think you'd really appreciate this one. It's Stony Eye Studios. Does a Mo Beats, like a live concert where he builds music right in front of you, and that's tomorrow.
Oh yes, yes, I
Um,
definitely want to be at
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's a good way. You just jump in, you make a guest account. You don't have to like sign up with your wallet or anything. You don't have to like marry the the system yet. You just come in, observe. But those are pretty fun because everything's interactive, and it looks like he's got a guest for tomorrow. So that's kind of a good way to like see what artists, music artists, are doing in the space. Kind of definitely Stony thinks out of the box. So yeah, please feel free to come by and joining us sooner than later. That's kind of
Awesome.
the
Thank you so much for
that's
the
what I
invite.
suggest.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for coming up today. It
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm gonna jump on down to the listener and just continue to enjoy myself. I truly appreciate you all again for giving me the opportunity to speak.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're always welcome to come up to speak, and I'm really happy that I met you today. Yeah, I'm following back right now, as well as even your other account. If you haven't already, and if you would like to, of course, um, join our Discord, which is like kind of where we chat and share information like throughout the week when we're not on these
Okay.
spaces. And one way that you could do it is you could go on the link tree in my bio. In there, you can find a link, or there is the community building Decentraland Twitter account down in the listeners down there. I think that has a link. If it hasn't expired, then that should work.
Okay, cool. Because I'm already I'm already there on Discord as well already, so that'll be an easy connection.
All right, sweet. And yeah, that's like an easy way to also like chat with us and connect with
Cool, cool.
us and stuff like that. Nice to
Well,
meet you.
you all
Thank you.
have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe.
dude,
And,
take
and go ahead, go ahead.
just wishing him well. And I see we do have another speaker that I don't think we've heard from before, Chaz Gold.
What's going on? How are you guys?
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just trying to figure out like how, if you guys might know, like I have these cute little bots that I've been making, and I wanna turn them into like avatars for different metaverses. And like I was thinking about decentralized land the other day, and I was like, I need to figure out how, like, what software, the best way to go about doing that, and like if people would want custom ones of their avatars, the ones that they have, how could I make those, and like what is there any shortcut on that or software you guys can recommend? Or
Yeah, definitely. Are they like an NFT project that you own the little
yeah,
bot?
yeah. But I give all the owners IP rights to do whatever they do with them too. It's a
Sweet.
small bot.
Yeah, there's a few different ways you can do it. You could just create them as a wearable, which a lot of different like studios could help you. Most people make stuff, I think, or the only way to do it is in Blender. It could be wrong. Low Poly can correct me if there's like any other way
Nah, you
of
can
doing
use
it.
any program that can export a GLB, GLTF, and GLTF. It's Blender is the one that's preferred just because it's an open source free software package.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't
there's
wonder. Yeah,
yeah
I've been using a Tripio 3D to get them from 2D to 3D, and then putting them in Blender, and like I'm learning how to clean them up with that.
excellent. Yeah, whatever pipeline you got that works. That
Yeah.
that's the preferred method. However you can get your idea into the world, that's what you got to
Right.
do.
Yeah, I just want to give them like I want to be able to have people have choices of like wherever they want to use them at if they want to. You know what I mean? Like just having that opportunity to do that, I think is really cool, and it's fun. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so like if you create them, you could publish them on your own, or we have a program called the Linked Wearables program, which is a little bit more lengthy, but gives you more options for just more options, but it's I don't know, it's kind of cumbersome at the moment. But you can see, like, if you look at my avatar, my PFP is a beast from Kid Called Beast. And then if you go in like my profile, there's some pictures from yesterday of wearing like the beast in world. So you can kind of get an idea that like those there are options for getting something that looks like your avatar here, and a lot of different brands have done it before with um yeah, like different robots, machines, animals, the crypto dads. I think those guys were like a grilling barbecue dad that brought their project in. So definitely a lot of ways to do it.
Cool.
Kind
I'll
of
look
just have
into
to
it.
find the one that works for you.
I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, actually, just like the good excuse to like, okay, fine, I'll learn Blender. One of those things. It's like I've been putting it off for so long that like I'm like, okay, all right, it's time. Now that this has happened, it's time. It's intimidating me. I had traumatic brain injury like 17 years ago, and I have this calculus with numbers. So I've been like super intimidated by like the mathematical equations of Blender. So, but I just need to get over it and just dive in and just be patient and do it. You know?
There's a lot of us that would say the same exact thing.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's all good. Like,
You know what happens when you fuck around?
yeah, I know. It's like fuck around and find out. You know what I mean? Like, I know I can do it. It's just the intimidating part of like the frustration of having to retrain my brain to like deal with a different set of numbers than it's ever dealt with before. Like, and having to memorize that again is like I've done it a bunch of times with different stuff, but like I just been like kind of putting this one off. But now I'm kind of like now I have a good excuse.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as like making something in Decentraland, I number one, I would point to the documentation on like the wearable making documentation in on decentraland.org. You'll find it there. And then another resource, which is actually a very good resource, low poly models down there in the crowd. She has a YouTube where she has like some tutorials on how to do different things on Decentraland. I know I'm sure you could like scroll through a little bit and find like a few wearable making videos and kind of like play around with kind of like those concepts as well. And
I
yeah.
just can't know, Paul. Thank you for that because like sometimes YouTube, what YouTube is like. You gotta learn something, and there's like so much there that it's like you don't. It's like you'll find yourself like 6 hours later, you come up for air, and you're like, I didn't learn anything, but I have a lot of stuff bookmarked and in playlist now because there's just so much that like you don't know how to like. It's crazy.
Yeah, because like you could like at least for this like because this is like the Central Land specific. Like a lot of people start making wearables or like start their Blender journey through like just different videos that they find on Blender, but it's like all like maybe more high res or whatever. With low poly models, at least you'll have like the you'll know she'll be working within the limitations of that the Central Land has.
So funny. Somebody just sent me a video on my DMs, like with some guy with a
It's
micro
not
set with a.
tutorial. Start with KJ and low poly models.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Does,
I'll do that.
does Scott, does Rustan have some videos? I feel like Rustan may have some videos for some stuff. Actually, yeah, you just mentioned this is even further beyond the Central Land. Here's an idea for you. Since you mentioned that you want to take your creations and kind of like give your holders the option to span upon like where their assets on different metaverses. Rustan has a video on how to like I believe how to make a VRM or how to rig a VRM.
Who
So
has that?
you could definitely Rustan, he is down in the listeners. He is the 8-bit PFP of that cool guy. He's a body painter. He paints on people.
Rad. Funny, somebody just sent me a video in my DMs. Like some dude on a bicycle, on an electric bike with a microwave on his head, and he's talking about like trust the process and know that you're gonna get through it and be uncomfortable situations and stop trying to dodge it because the longer you're gonna live, it's gonna make you better. And I'm like, it's so funny because it looks like one of my boss with a microwave head. And some dude, like a real dude in real life. And here I'm talking about like I've been avoiding like trying to learn Blender.
Okay, so I hear a little bit of typing. I'm not sure. Is it for me? Canessa's mic is stuck on,
Oh
so
no. I'm not typing on my
no. Well,
keyboard, so it's not me. 1, 2, 3, not me. Maybe Scott, because Scott looks like his mic is on.
yeah, okay. Scott, your mic is on. So yeah, Chaz, those are some suggestions. I see Einstein came up. Hello, fellow beast. I think it's our first time talking. How are you, dude?
I'm doing pretty good, Mew. And hello, everybody. And thank you for accepting my request. I just happened to hear you guys talk about Rooston in his video, which I spent a good amount of time on yesterday. I created a VRM. I don't know if it's my GPU. I don't know if there's a general question that maybe one of us can answer. So I completed the VRM, uploaded it to the software that the VRM should recognize your face with. It shows up, it's there. He's responding. It's just with a lot of latency. And sometimes my diamonds on my beast kind of don't synchronize with the mask, although the first time I uploaded, it did like it did synchronize. If that makes any sense at all.
Hmm. Let's see. Let's see if maybe even Rustan might know the issue if he's listening out there, or maybe anyone that is listening. Also, if you haven't so already, yeah, I a resource for that. I mean, I would even kind of ask Red, maybe. No, not Red. Juan from The Kid Called Beast. Oh, and White Toxic. You have your hand up. Take it away. Hello, Toxic.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to quickly pop in and say hello and warmly invite you all to the special edition of the TikTok Tuesday next week. As Scott already mentioned earlier, the next week is half Christmas, and meaning there are exactly 6 months left until Christmas and we want to celebrate it together. So I've put up a nice program and we'll be very happy to see you all there. So yeah, that was my point. Don't want to interrupt the communication here.
You are always welcome, Toxic, and I posted the information for it in the Jumbotron up above. So let's see, what time is that for everybody? It's 10:30 p.m. UTC.
Yes, right. 10:30 p.m. UTC. So see you next Tuesday, and thank you very much.
Ooh, thank you. Gonna have to pull the Christmas stuff out of the digital closet and dust it off. And I can't believe it's 6 months. I'm sure Hobby Lobby already has the Christmas decorations out.
I mean, I already have my Christmas hat on. See, my PFP.
You're on trend.
I know, right? Always, always. I'm always ahead. Like, okay, so right now I'm on. Damn it, I need to do something.
No, you're
Uh,
ahead. You're ahead. You're good.
I need bunny ears. Um, and so far, Einstein, I'm not getting any response to your question. But yeah, perhaps maybe I mean, I'm sure you know Rustan, and if you don't, he is the nicest guy ever. You could always like shoot him a DM as well, like ask him if he's ever seen that issue before. I'm not sure if he's listening or not. He hasn't reacted, so
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the chance though to deliver the question. And I do have a laptop with a stronger, I think it's a stronger GPU. I'm gonna try it out on this laptop and see if it's that. If not, I'll reach out for sure to the resources.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I know that Juan knows his stuff when it comes to VRMs and the creation of them in in the Beast chat. So I that could even be a question that you could pose to him. Ain't it cool? Ain't it cool, Einstein, being in like an NFT project where like if you have any like 3D issues or like want to learn, you could just literally be there.
Yeah, yeah, it is really cool. If it wasn't for the Beast, collection, I definitely would never have been introduced to Blender, never would have had these renders that I have. Wouldn't I've been talking about VRMs, probably wouldn't have been, ever touched Metaverse and Kinesis' world. I would have never been. So yeah, it is really cool. And then you could just go to the Discord community and questions are answered.
User. Yeah, a lot of us like in Decentraland are also beast holders. We love the beast. So uh I don't know if you have tried them out yet, but we have the linked wearables live now. So now you can wear your beast in Decentraland.
I've heard about that. I think I went to Kinesis World once, and I did get like this alien outfit with like a cool drone hat. And at that time, it was kind of not, I think, it to be able to bring in the beast, but I have been seeing the beast in there lately, and it looks really cool. So hopefully I can fix this VR situation, or once I fix this, I'll probably be able to link my beast somehow into Decentraland.
Yeah, yeah. Join us for a party sometime, dude. We're always posting something. We always have something going on.
Rustan and I had way too much fun last night trying out the beast heads with the skins, and so yeah, we found some pretty cringe like combinations that should just stay in the wardrobe. And the cockroach, which Rustan hates cockroaches, but if you wear the cockroach wearable with the beast head, your body disappears, so it's just a cockroach on the ground dancing, and then your beast head. So I made sure make sure you never dress yourself as a cockroach near Rustan. Or now that you have that information, just do it all the time. Unless you're on his land, then he'll automatically like boot you. But yeah, it's fun. It's cool that the beasts can be like out wearing like an Adidas jacket or a Tommy Hilfiger jacket. Like it's a cool way to like mix with these other brands and fashion and some other stuff. So you could change the color of them and still need like big accessories. I need like giant jumbo glasses so that I could wear heart-shaped glasses like my beast in my PFP. I can't there's heart glasses. I think Aaron Loop made them, but they hide in my behind my beast size. So gotta build that one out more.
I think I don't know if it was a conversation with Rusan or if it was with someone else, like pertaining. Oh, maybe make pertaining to that. Like because I was suggesting for other beasts to start making accessories for the beast head and stuff like that. And what Make said is that they would have to be completely. It would have to be within a skin or something like that or done some other way because it can't okay, like let's say you have sunglasses, like I guess like the sunglasses can't go beyond a certain uh height in the armature or whatever. So like the beast heads like in the regular armature it doesn't the your eyes are really where your like chin is at and then like the rest of the beast head is just like extra stuff. You can't, I guess, make a wearable and adjust it to that perfect spot or something like that. I don't know.
I didn't
There's
know
people
that. Okay,
smarter than me.
that
Yeah, there's people smarter than me telling me that that it can't be done, and to be quite simple.
well, it'd be cool like if there was like a jumbo category or something like that. I mean, just what the devs want to hear us asking for more shit, but like it would be cool to have big glasses so you could wear them with like your dead Mao head, or like the Bit Beasts or the Kid Cub Beasts. Like there's a lot of big big headed people that might want to wear sunglasses and other shit.
What about the Penguin Fight Club? I know that when I first saw Billy T Coin, he had his Penguin Fight Club glasses on, and it looked like he was an old man because they would like be down at the tip of his nose. Maybe the Penguin Fight Club glasses would be the right size for the beast.
No, because they would sit at the chin or like at the neck, opposed to like up top. Because the Penguin Fight Club, like the glasses would line up to like the penguin skin's nose.
Yeah, the mouth of the regular avatar. Then I'm guessing. Okay.
Yes, which would be so like for the beast head, it would be kind of like at its neck.
If only somebody had a glasses wearable that could like reformat it to fit the beast.
Hey, I know someone.
Hold my beer. I'll be right back.
Yeah. See if like you could do that. Like it would be like a matter of scaling and like height adjustment, I would say, to. But yeah, I think there or someone said there might be.
I'm gonna fund the purchase of my own beast. I'm gonna make glasses and accessories for the beast.
Would the glasses fit
Oh
in
man.
the same, like are all the eyes of the beasts, are they kind of in the same spot on each head? I wonder.
I don't know, but I'm aiming to find out.
The man, the plan, the pet, the wearable, the dino, the everything. Aaron.
He's my waifu.
Hey, when are pets coming?
When pets.
right after we can drive, my friend.
True. I just wanted to hop on to say that if Scott wants my GLB of the heart sunglasses, and he can have them if he wants them, because you guys can even use them too. I wouldn't even care because I would like to see Kness have the heart sunglasses work because it would match her PFP. So whatever you guys need from me, I'm down. And and if you end up using it, I give consent because that would be sick.
My DMs are open, Aaron. You can just drop the GLB and I'll have it up before the end of this weekend.
Legend. All right, I'll send it ASAP. That's hilarious.
Well, isn't there a whole club based around the glasses? The Love Louie and the Love Squad, I think that's like the maybe part of like how they formed is the glasses, the heart-shaped glasses. I think I could be wrong.
Hell yeah, I love that. Hopefully, it's a good organization because then we've been repping them for years. And if they were like a bad organization, we wouldn't even know, and people would be like, "Man, those assholes are repping those bad organization." And even Billy, man, like shout out to Billy Decoin 69. He's been repping those sunglasses for years now, so he would probably feel pretty bad too.
Nah, you're in good hands. The Love Squad is an elite, is an elite community, and yeah. I don't know if you've met Love Louie. My most recent TikTok video or Instagram video, wherever you look at my content, that I featured one of Louis' songs on it. So
Okay, good. Thank God. We weren't going to get busted for
yeah.
something pretty bad and didn't even know about it. Perfect. All right, good.
But yeah, it would be so cool to have some accessories. I always like, even thought about like the kind of like the beast hands. Um, once again, I think it runs into like a scaling issue or an armature issue.
What I know.
Like, you know how like the beast have,
Oh,
oh,
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, I know, like, oh, Metafox Crew made those white gloves that look like these hands on my beast. Is that what you mean?
Did they look good? I mean,
I'll put them on. I actually haven't tried them with the beast head. I'm just afraid to go into my backpack because of rave mode. It seems, I don't know if it's just me. It could be like the size of my backpack, but it feels like when I go in there,
oh,
it activates rave mode.
oh, well, you must have activated rave mode for me. I'm just looking back at my screen over here, and I see that all our viewers have been enjoying rave mode for God knows how long.
I think they've been in there, or somebody commented it earlier that it looks like time lapse. But yes, now I'm in rave mode because I opened my backpack. I feel like a detective, although don't have to dig too deep to like see 1 + 1 = 2. That backpack equals rave mode. All right, I'm refreshing. We'll see. On that note, I want to know if anybody uses the client and not experience rave mode. Like, is it totally 100% reliably gone if you use the client?
I don't. I can't, actually, I can't think of a time I've gotten rave mode when using the client, but then again, I don't use the client too much. Um, but people have been, or who was it? Hugh Powell found that Opera GX has no rave mode for on Decentraland. So that's a browser. So if you use browser, yeah, Opera GX is a good option.
Is that one does that one have some like controversial stuff behind it? Like it's somebody said it's like I don't know, like not a good one to use.
I mean, Opera, I think like people sometimes may tie Opera to like the dark web or some shit like that, maybe. It's that could be. Am I right?
Oh, that's I mean, we're of course you're okay with the dark web. We're crypto lovers. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, just don't post anything on that thing unless you want to owe people money for no reason. But I did see that old guy came up to speak. Hello, old guy. How are you? Does anyone hear old
I
guy?
do not hear old
Can you
guy.
hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Now
I
I
was just
can.
gonna send out a general warning to all the ladies in the audience. Hope they're up on their birth control because when old guy speaks, I think they get pregnant.
Jeez, come on now, man.
Wow.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, Knesset. So I've been using the client for about 6 weeks now. And I have not had any issues with the exception of the first week, which I just basically uninstalled it from my desktop and then reinstalled it and have not had an issue anywhere. I've been all over Decentraland with it, in and out of the backpack, dancing, you name it, I've done it. So have not had an issue since I've switched to the client. Now I have found, and you're not going to like this at all, what I have found is if you upload a new MetaMask wallet, move just a few wearables into that wallet, you will find that it will keep you mostly from going into rave mode.
So wait, rave mode might be related to the number of wearables in one's wallet?
That's what I seem to be finding. I have several of them now that I'm testing out and have not run into an issue with small amounts of wearables within the wallet itself. But I've also run into rave mode in Hyperfi. So it just comes down, I think, to what some of the settings are on your computer, to be honest with you.
Oof. Okay, Fancy and I are screwed.
I felt that like tear running down your eye just now when you just said Fancy and I, and then you. Oh no.
Yeah, I no comment. It's not the first time that our backpack has adversely affected our experience here, which makes perfect sense that it should. I mean, I don't know if it's like Dora the Explorer's backpack where it's just like you just keep putting stuff in there, but I mean, it seems like it'd be legit that there's a limit to the amount of crap that a backpack could hold.
Well, what would be
Nope.
really nice is if we could actually not have to store them in our wallet, right? So like I can't explain it, man. I'm not part of this whole, you know, coding and all that other stuff. But it would be nice if it was like you could link it, like, you know, let's, for instance, like OBS, right? I can run OBS from multiple different platforms, and it would be great if we could throw this into a cold storage and then reach into that cold storage, pull that particular wearable or remote out for the day, and then not have all this technology on the platform at one time. I don't know if it has any effect on things. I can just tell you what I've been testing the last little bit, and that seems to be what I'm finding is the least amount that I have in my wallet, the more the platform seems to work for me. So,
I asked Nico and Aga a question a while back, and I like at GDC, and I was like, so technically, could there be just like one wearable that's corrupted, and like that one wearable is potentially like messing everything up? And they're like, well, maybe, and like it would be so difficult to just test that one
10,000 wearables.
Yeah, like,
It's
but
one of
literally
them. Shit.
it could be my let's see, what should I pick on? It could be Jim Cedric's Tengu hat. Like that literally could be it. Like that could be the one thing that's just breaking our
Definitely
Let me
it.
go you one better, Canessa. It could be the Tengu hat with pink hair. Like it could be that sort of a combination. Like you look on the millions of colors in that color swatch to like figure out what your color is. It could be something as intricate and minute and just fucked up as that. Who knows?
Yep. Wow. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a dev either, so I don't know. But it just seems like there's so many catalysts. There's so many different like variables that I don't know. I don't know how you test for all of them. I guess you don't. You just keep patching.
Not anymore. We're getting a new client, and it's going to be everything we ever dreamed of, and better. And there'll be rainbows and sunshine and unicorns actually. Uh, And also, Rustan just reminded me. Let's see, is Chaz Gold still down there in the listeners? No, it looks like he's not. So I'm gonna have to DM him. I forgot to mention about how like you can, you know, export your VRM from Decentraland. So you can export a VRM of your Decentraland avatar very easily through Decentraland.org.
Yeah, there were some cool beasts like combinations that Rustan was putting together last night that I was like, okay, that would be really cool to have the VRM somewhere else, like run around. I don't know, or I don't know. I guess you could like export the VRM and resell. No, you wouldn't do that. But like, I don't know. I guess for people that want to go other places. I don't want to go other places.
Well, I mean, it gives kind of this is just like a mental concept I'm throwing out there. Like a wearable creator only releases their creations on Decentraland. It kind of makes Decentraland like the market if you want to get this person's wearable like into a different platform.
Yeah, totally. Like if you wanted to, like, are you thinking if the wearable creator offered that as like utility, so then they like it was pre agreed upon, like you could take this and export it?
Ah, yes, I forget about that aspect of things. Yeah, that is honestly a conversation that not many people talk about, like the rights of well, I mean, I guess that all falls into the Decentraland's TOS, which kind of says that they can distribute the the content for their use, I guess, or
I have a completely different concept. Just hear me out here for a second. What
yeah.
if um what if we took just the um just the backpack for Decentraland and the exporter to VRM, and then we released it as a standalone client, or even like browser client. Doesn't have to be limited to platform, to an OS. Just put it in a browser, and then we market it to people as a way to generate your own unique avatar. Right, you can export all these VRMs for all these other platforms. I mean, that I think would be something that could be limited to just to mobile. So somebody could go to the Apple App Store, go in just like in Zepeto, trick out their avatar, and then um, bring it into all the other metaverses, and then that would increase the visibility, the market share of Decentraland. Terrible idea? Good idea? What do you guys think?
I think it's a good idea. I think I also like this week I want to shout out Nikki Fuego for pushing for the button, the ability to protect your assets so that if you don't want them exported in the VRM, that has been enacted now. So you can just push that button, and if somebody goes to create that, it just says, "Hey, not with this one, friend. Find the next one." So now that that's in place, I think I guess for like new creators that have the option to go and check that box, or anybody active in world can do that. If you're like you're active in this past and then you aren't around to like click that button, then your stuff still could be exported. But I think like avatar generation, like I mean there's already AI generators that you're like, hey, I want an avatar with like pink glasses and pink hair and blue bunny ears, and boom, like they're going to make you a VRM. We saw a place like that at GDC that like it's already out there. So if there was a way to kind of uh like rein in that audience, definitely.
I'm trying to remember, and Rustan probably knows the name of this, but it's a Japanese company. Since VTubing has been around, huge in Japan, for for quite a few years now. There's oh my God, what is it? That's what it is. It's a VRM avatar creator. Um, I played around with it. I don't know, about a year ago. Super fun. Um, but it has only one aesthetic. I guess you could argue that Decentraland has its single aesthetic, but with independent creators, I don't know. I forget what the total number is. It was 8,000 about a year ago. It's got to be closer to 10,000 unique independent wearables. I did the math on that, and I think it was like 4 times 10 to the 64 exponent, like unique outfit combinations. So it's got to be even more than that now. Yeah, it seems like
it's an opportunity waiting to just be taken, um, with people that are looking to highly customize. I think that's one of the superpowers that Decentraland has, and it seems silly to just leave that on the table and not take advantage of that.
Oh, so many things are coming to my mind then, like protecting the sanctity of like a wearable NFT, because the whole it's just like when, like when we bought land in Decentraland, we thought there were going to be 90,000 parcels, and then Worlds comes out, and like my knee jerk reaction was evil, bad, no, and now I'm like, okay, I can see there's utility in it. Like, yes, they have a place, but still, like if we're selling wearable NFTs as something like there's a mythic, there's only 10 of these, like the Rustan shades, let's say that. And then one person in the group goes and exports it, then, I feel like it's, or I imagine it like an orange. Like you're taking the orange peel off of it and you're taking it somewhere else. The orange is still an orange. Like you still have the original NFT here, but now you have another version of it, like out there in the great wide open. So I think this is just where we're just gonna have to keep like talking about this and identify, does that change like an NFT? Does that change its like rarity? Does it make it better? Does it make it worse? And I'm just gonna have an open mind, because I don't want to like slam that door shut. I want to be realistic about what the future of wearable NFTs looks like, but I don't know.
I feel like having said that, it's like we are in the position of the record companies when cassette tapes came out, right? Because you could sell the album, and then if you had a hi-fi system, um, with a tape deck, you could easily make a mixtape or just make a direct copy. But the tape isn't the album, just like you said, the orange peel isn't the orange. So I think the rarity and the value of the NFT, the wearable NFT, is it being in Decentraland. So ask yourself, do you still value being in Decentraland? And if so, then that wearable NFT retains its value. I think I don't think it's why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free. I don't think it's that at all. I think um, if we are strong enough in our conviction that Decentraland is a value where we spend time, and it's the time that we spend with each other that gives it its value, that we can afford to invest in something like um, taking that valuable asset of the wearables and releasing it to people. It's like when Napster came on the scene. People want their music. People want to be able to enjoy it, and they're still going to go out. The people that have the means are still going to go out and spend money on the concerts that go directly to the artist, that benefit the artist. Um, I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I'd like to hear. I'm going to shut up, and I want to hear what other people think, though, because I may just be talking out of my ass.
I listening to both sides of that, and I start looking at it from the perspective like a copyright. Like you were talking about with the music industry, and a lot of times I look at the copyrights and I think to myself, well, isn't any publicity good publicity? And you know, could that brand or that NFT actually generate more revenue by the fact that it's being copied and that people are loving it and everybody wants it? And then what is the value of that actual first initial 10 mythic that you put out there? Doesn't that go to the moon, or does it drop completely because everybody can get it? I don't know what the answer is. But yeah, I do agree, Scott, that I think that would be an interesting concept to at least look into, research a little further. Um, you know, and then is there, I know now we can go ahead and go in there and mark, hey, you can't make a VRM out of this, but who's to say somebody can't go into Blender, create almost the same identical NFT and sell it as their own? So if it can bring awareness to a brand or to something that's actually going on, to promote Decentraland a little bit, I kind of like that idea. I know not everybody's going to agree, but that's kind of my stance on it.
So there's a tag. Thank you, old guy. Absolutely, absolutely agree with you. I think it would have knock-on effects. There's a setting in Blender when you're exporting the GLB, and also in GIMP, which is the open source version of Photoshop. But you can basically enter metadata as you're saving or exporting the file. So yeah, when you're exporting the GLB, you can insert information, meta information. They can be, most people won't think about it, won't look at it, won't even consider it. But it could be that when you export a VRM from DCL, that it creates a really simple, small text file that lists all of the creators, that lists the smart contract ETH address for each of the wearables, that could then easily be picked up by any of the virtual worlds, right? Because it has to load the file. It has to go through and scan and read through all of that, all those ones and zeros, and it could pick out, okay, these are horn rim glasses created by Oddjob. These are, this is a Kid Called Beast mask, that's a whatever. You can't export link wearables, but you know what I'm saying, right? So it could very well be like free advertising. I think about the Louis Vuitton bags, that people are selling that are knockoffs, selling them out of the trunk of their car. I've got kids, middle school kids, that are wearing, Gucci sweats, and I listen to them talking like, oh man, that's a sick outfit, and then they found out that that it wasn't real, that it was fake, that it was a knockoff, but they still had like mad props for him, because in that instance, you definitely want the authentic thing, and if you can't have the authentic thing, you get the knockoff. With it's an aspirational ownership, right? Someday you will have the real deal, and you know it in your heart because you miss your pocketbook and you're wearing it, on your back. When you finally get those, whatever it is you've been saying, it totally matters, and people still will want to, like a year or whatever. I think it would increase the value. I think it would be an interesting experiment to have.
If I could say something, first shout out to old guy. That's the first time I heard your voice, and I've known you for like 3 years. So shout out to you. Um, but second off, I kind of agree with both of you guys. And kind of let me just give you like a case study. Like, for example, well, before I go into that, I just want to say I also agree with Scott. Like in terms of, I think people should utilize the imagery of Decentraland. I think like two places it would be really like solid utility is Twitter and Discord. Making memes and stuff. I don't know if whoever knows me knows like I use anime basically GIFs on like everything. That's just what I do. But like I would be more inclined to use more relative Decentraland GIFs. So shout out to Toxic Waifu who's been working hard on making those for us all. So I do agree on that end. But one other thing to add to that is that Pokemon is like the perfect example of that, in sense of like I own a couple first edition Charizards, and those are worth to me like a lot, and to other people a lot. There are other Charizards out there that are worth less, but they're not the first editions, and even anyone can just draw a Charizard Pokemon card. But the ones from Pokemon are the ones that I think are worth the most, and they continue to be worth more over time. And I think NFTs is actually the solution to these questions that we have. It's like, I think an NFT from the Pokemon wallet, I think is worth more than, than someone creating a Pokemon, NFT that's not from Pokemon in the long run. So that's just my opinion on that, if that helps.
Einstein, you've got your hand up.
Yes, I do. This is just great space. I'm gonna And I want to say thank you again. You guys are amazing. And gonna go and do some IRL stuff. And hopefully in the near future I can contribute with some VRM updates.
Yes, definitely. We want
Yeah,
to hear them.
happy you joined us. Thank you for coming. And you're always welcome to come up and speak. It's been really good hearing your voice, dude.
Thank you. Likewise. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Have a good day. Aaron, you bring up some really good points with like the first edition versus like second. And really, I mean, you think about like maybe we don't even know the potential of like where metaverse and like on-chain NFTs, wearables, maybe we don't know where that's heading. Like, you know, I know L1 wearables that are on the Ethereum blockchain. Like Morph always thought, he was like, what if there's another metaverse world that comes out that's built on Ethereum? Like technically those could be in like more than just one metaverse. So he thought that, at least the way that I understood it, that they would have possibly have more utility just because they're built on that blockchain. Yeah, I don't know. I don't make wearables, so to me, I'm like more interested in like the big wearable creators that are getting, you know, like I don't know, supplementing their income or living on their income from wearable creation. So like I also don't want to make a decision based on my biases that would negatively impact or positively impact their livelihood. Like I don't know. I think it's really important to hear from them at this point too. Crickets, crickets. Does that mean it's almost lunchtime?
Probably. Sorry, I was busy shilling. Um, but yes, crickets. I just had a glass of milk. Hoping that'll hold me over for the next 5 hours of this marathon space that we're having today.
I got a whole other concept to lay on you guys until somebody else can come up and tell me I'm wrong about the Decentraland VRM export creator standalone app. Can we still publish wearables on the L1 Mana, blockchain?
No, I don't think so. Because I've thought about that too, but I don't think you can. But
Why
that
not?
must be like deep dev stuff. You're asking me? I
Because
don't know.
because
I think I've asked it before and been like, thou
when I
shall
first
not pass.
when I first came into the space, I mean, you talk about the documentation on the Decentraland.org website. It talked about, and some of KJ's videos that I watched, the first ones, were all about, exporting the GLB and then going in and making the JSON file and doing all that shit. I'm like, oh my God, right? Like there wasn't even the process of going through the curation committee, and there wasn't even the the upload WYSIWYG, that editor, that wasn't even there. It was talking about, basically creating all the pieces you need for the smart contract to work. So unless they've nerfed that smart contract, I don't know. Any
Maybe
devs out there?
KJ would know. Like, I mean, I think out of everybody, I'm sorry if I miss anyone, but like I feel like KJ's probably maybe the only one who has actually published wearables back in the day, like L1 wearables.
Yeah, before I came up and asked a question, I shot her a DM on Twitter. So I don't know if she's AFK or whatever, but that would be hardcore, right? It would cost a fuckload to publish, for gas. It's not going to cost as much as it did in January of 2023, but yeah, fuck, that sounds exciting.
I've wanted to do it before just because I don't know, just because it seemed like a cool thing to do. But I remember hearing a no, but now that I can't remember who told me no, now I'm like, Maybe it wasn't a no. Maybe there is. I mean, it seems logical that the mechanics probably would not have gone away. They might just not
Shibu would
want
know.
to.
Toon Punk would probably know. I know Lastrom would know, but I don't see either one of those guys in the audience. But what a boss move that would be.
Oh no, we're getting a thumbs down from Low Poly from KJ. So we cannot do it, KJ?
All right.
We need Morse code. That would be so cool to have Morse code in Twitter Spaces, like deet 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 deet. Like, no, you cannot, because the original contract was burnt and null and void, or something.
Or maybe like a little and Farcaster take notes, or Farhouse take notes, a little like text box that you can like send like a little quick personal note to the host or people.
Oh, I've already been trying to figure out how to release something on base that would load up in Decentraland, that would like whatever, like co-mint on base and Polygon at the same time.
Oh, so earlier you mentioned about making a Mew token in on base. There's already one in on Polygon that that a friend made for me a long time ago. I've always wondered if there was a way to like integrate that, but probably not.
No, go to FAR Terminal. So it's not FAR Terminal, it's FAR FAR Terminal. I think .io. And if you've got any base or you got any degen, you can easily spin up a Mew token. I'll buy 1 million of them when you do.
Okay, that's cool. But that would be just like base related. It wouldn't be like tied into like the token that I already have.
No, yeah, and I wouldn't know how to do that. I mean, that I think would require some sort of a smart contract, but at least they would be co-located. You would have a Mew token in both locations. That's still cool.
All right, then. If I make this Mew token, I look forward to prison if Mew token hits a billion market evaluation.
What kind of mutility will it have?
Oh, where is the? Oh my god!
I sleep to noises similar to that.
I'm gonna have to mute you, Scott.
I was trying for the rim shot, but whatever, fat thumbs and all.
That's funny. I probably should think about it. Yeah, just to have something on base. Apply some utility to it. I mean, always thought about it. I've actually shot some ideas back and forth like recently about all that. It's crazy how crazy innovation is happening like in base. I wonder if it's like base that's developing really quick, or if it's like the influence of Farcaster being on base that's like pushing innovation.
I think it's a both and instead of an either or. I just know that there was let's see, what was it? It was Paragraph, it was Variant, and there was one other large name that that sponsored the hackathon yesterday, right? And those aren't like super huge deep pockets or anything, but if you're going to publish anything on Web3, all the articles that I published last year was on Mirror. They got acquired by Paragraph, so it got rolled into them. So if you're going to publish anything on Web3, that's Paragraph, right? And they're the ones that were sponsoring it. It's I think the grand prize for the hackathon is $500, so that's not nothing. My point is that the money is going to base right now, and because of the Farcaster ecosystem, it has such a rapid development cycle. I think the money and the adaptability of the platform, that is sort of like a magic nexus. That's where a lot of the action is happening, and I think that's why.
Yeah, definitely like a small like tech boom happened within Base and Farcaster. I love to see it. I love to see it. Lots being built. Um, I do see some new listeners coming in. Uh, welcome, Bio. Hello, Bitfiend. Welcome, welcome. Happy you are here. Hello, Lumania. Hello, Dr. Drip. Super Nina, so nice to see you today. I saw you on Parcel when I like checked on my PC and I see you here now. Happy you're here. DJC, okay, welcome, welcome. And Juliana's here. Oh, did I hear
Oh,
someone's mic
that was
open?
mine. I was just gonna renew my pledge. I got a couple people that took me up on the offer. If you want to come to Farcaster, it costs $5 annual, and that's just for server space and bandwidth. But I'm willing to sponsor anybody that wants an invite. I'll send you a specialized invite where I'll take care of the entry fee, just to get you into Farcaster. So hit me up, send me a DM.
Yeah, and if I can say anything about that, Scott got me into that a couple of weeks ago. Took a little while to figure it out, but I got to tell you, I'm really enjoying myself. I've created an actual channel called Barbecue, Old Guy Barbecue. Shit, I can't even remember. That's how old I am. I haven't looked at it since last night. So, but I tell you, it's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of amazing art on this particular platform. If you get a chance, even if it's not your cup of tea, you should at least go in and take a look. But it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of like you just mentioned the art. Like a lot of the times it's like, the actual creator posting the art and they will like reply to you and like if you allow it, they'll have like a full-blown conversation with you in that comment section. So yeah, I do enjoy kind of like I don't know, when you come across someone and like actually have a conversation, it's like, yeah, there is like a human to human thing and not one of those like, you get a random DM like I can shill your NFT for $500 a month.
I'll go you
But
one better. So because things are iterating so fast over there, and it is such a, I would say, a fertile environment for developers. A lot of developers are there and they're developing tools. And just like we were talking about earlier, like, the people at the top, some of the people that are at the top just by default, if you are a developer and you come in there and you make a tool that is even remotely popular, you get people throwing money at you. There are those people with the 20,000 daily degen allowance that will see something that they like and they'll be like, "Wow, bro, this is really cool," and they'll drop like 5,000 degen in your in the comments. And what's more, if there's a problem with any of the things that are being released, and because they're moving fast and they're breaking shit, that happens often. So buyer beware. It's just shit breaks a lot, kind of like in Decentraland. So you'll you'll feel right at home because something will work one day and then the next day it won't. But my point is that you can reach out to that developer and be like, "Hey, this doesn't work," and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't notice that." And I've had devs give me 1,000 degen tip just because I pointed out to them that this thing was broken. And I'm not a dick about it. I'll be like, "Hey, you may not know this, but this thing that you just implemented, it stopped working once they did the latest update." So you have direct access to the devs that are making the tools that are propelling the platform forward.
Scott, do you see any way that, and I really don't know because I'm not technical and blah blah blah, that could be implemented like in Decentraland? Like, is there a bridge in chain where if it's successful there, eventually we like introduce our devs to their devs and they find a way to bridge it, or if they can't, like at least glean in, like
Yes. Short answer, yes.
replicate the
And here's why. Because Base is built on Ethereum. And I know that back in my FAFO days a year ago, last summer, um, I was hanging out, and Lastrom was hanging out, and he's like, "Well, I don't know." I was complaining about the Polygon frames because most of the NFTs now are on Polygon because they're so cheap. But in Decentraland, at least in the old SDK in 5 and 6, the only frames that you got inside of that builder were the L1 Ethereum NFT frames. And within a matter of, I don't know, 3 hours, Lastrom had constructed a Polygon NFT frame. You know how you could make like not a smart wearable, or not a smart oh fuck, what's it called, Canessa, inside the builder?
smart
Smart
item.
item, yeah. He basically made a smart item so that you can add it. It's a way to extend the builder, the web-based builder. He made a smart item that was basically a Polygon-based NFT frame that was on L2 Polygon. So that's the longer answer. Yeah, it's just a matter of developing the code so that when the scene loads, instead of just using whatever the normal SDK is, it goes out and it calls the right contracts, and it calls up the URLs for the images, and then it serves it in the right way. Now, if you're going to make a purchase, that requires some knowledge of Rust programming so that some wizardry can happen. Because have you ever noticed when you're trying to transfer or purchase an item that's on Polygon, you're in world, and you have to swap. You have to go from L1 Ethereum to L2 Polygon because it's below whatever the market price. I think it's like below 1 mana, isn't it? That Decentraland doesn't foot the bill for the free gas, so you have to cover that yourself with Matic. And to do that, you've got to be on L2 Polygon / Matic. That's a lot of technical stuff, but I think you're following me, right, Canessa?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so in order to make that transaction, you got to go over to Polygon, and I think it would have to be something like that. Like, in order for you to stay on L1 and to be in Decentraland, and then to be able to enact a transaction, it would have to be something like that, where it's handled by some other, like the call is made, but some other smart contract handles that transaction, and that's like somebody from foundation level smart contract knowledge. But yeah, I've definitely thought about it. And honestly, where I've really thought about it is reaching out to Ash over on Hyperfy and being like, can you just take this, the frames and the actions on Farcaster, and can you just port it over so that I can drop it into Hyperfy? I see that happening a lot faster, just as a proof of concept. But yeah, it totally can happen. It's just a matter of having the big brain in order to be able to make it happen. But that would be, yeah, holy shit, amazing. I think I saw that they're over like 650,000 new user account signups recently on Farcaster.
Thank you. I mean, I'm just, my brain is like, the reason I ask is I just like, I want to find ways that people can like earn or monetize or create passive income inside Decentraland. Like, not like I'm going to quit my day job worthy, but like that trickle effect. Because as I've always said, like I'm a huge proponent of passive income. Like you set it and forget it, and eventually that small little income, it adds up to a lot. Like if you have a little, like, if you're monetizing YouTube and you're monetizing TPT and you're monetizing Decentraland and you're monetizing, whatever, like I think that would be a huge incentive for people just to stay active in the game. And I don't know, yeah, so that just like what I'm hearing you guys say from Farcaster and Warp Tour. I know it's not Warp Tour, but Warpcast. It seems like that's the right track, like trickle, like I'm talking like fractions of pennies. And I don't know what that looks like. Like if you host an event, you get, 0.0005, or like if you buy a wearable, or I don't know, who knows, but I feel like that's a conversation I want to like push forward, because ultimately people need, like if this is a social media platform, like that's what every other platform is finding a way to do, whether it's like outright rewarding people like that or selling ad space. And yeah, on that, I don't know if you want to respond. I do have more to say on that, but I see your mic going.
Yeah, I'll be real quick. So somebody just his name is Undefined. So if you go onto Farcaster and whatever, you get your account, definitely follow the dev named Undefined. He's like releasing a new frame every 3 days, and somebody will say, um, um, there's a channel called Someone Build, and if you go into that channel and be like, hey, someone should build this. So that's how this came about. It's like somebody should build a way to just automatically tip all of the artists, all of the devs that I think are doing good work. And then this guy built it in like 3 days. So what I did was I took 33 of my artists that I appreciate and I follow, and I've purchased and minted some of their work. And then I allocated 3% of my daily tip allowance. So now I'm up to, I don't know, like 600 DGen. Sinful, by the way, first time ever. My DGen from day to day has gone up over the last 3 days. I don't know what the fuck happened, but hooray. So yeah, 3% of my DGen tip allowance goes to each one of those 33. And that, 33 times 3, that's 99. So 99% of my tip allowance goes to my artists. And the first day it was 6 DGen, and now it's 8. So it continues to go up. And each day, that's, what is it, 6 cents? That's 8 cents. Over the course of a month, 30 times 8, that's 250. That's not quite a macchiato at Starbucks, but it'll definitely get you a cup of coffee and a donut at the corner gas station. So I agree with you, Vanessa. I'm a big fan of the passive income, smart money, having your money work for you. So I'll shut up and let you continue on.
No, I like it. I mean, and I don't have the answers. I'm not claiming I do. I just wish that there were ways to do that. So there's a new marketplace smart contract that they just announced also, and that's going to unlock like new revenue generation mechanics. I'm not remembering it from memory. I'm reading from the Slido from the AMA this week, but that's going to let people do, so like in the Decentraland marketplace, it's going to let you do discounts, to have promo codes, to have a hot sale, to do item bundles, and then allow you to do counter offers. So these are and looks like some of those are still going to be developed out, but that's a pretty big deal. Like I could imagine a promo code like, hey, anybody that's at my old guys barbecue this weekend listening, you get a promo code old guy on fire, 50% off or whatever. I don't know. But like that's a pretty cool thing that they're doing too, that I think will help liven up the marketplace. I hope.
So there's this CMS, which is a content management service or content management system called Charmverse, and it's a way to extend your like your DAO or your brand. So basically, everything that the that the DApps devs have been tricking out for the DCL DAO, these people are doing it for everybody else, that doesn't have that development squad. So Charmverse has a way that you can choose any ERC20 1155 token to token gate and give permissions to different parts of Charmverse. So thinking about that, like having what you just talked about for the market for DCL, if I can have a special promo code that's basically an ERC20 NFT, I could give something away, or I could sell it on Farcaster and have people pay for it in DGen, or pay for it by tipping me DGen. Then they could come over to Decentraland. It's in their ETH wallet. They connected Decentraland with their ETH wallet. In the marketplace, if there's like a special coupon code that is this NFT that they got on Farcaster, I mean, that's your solution right there. That is a workaround, but that's one way to do it, to entice people like, hey, I already did that on Revel. Like somebody bought my NFT on Revel. I just asked them to, I did the old fashioned way, send me your ETH wallet address. And Zom came over to Revel just for that. He got a couple pairs of boots, he got a flower crown, and he got some emotes that way. But yeah, that's totally possible. I'm really excited to check out this thing that you were talking about in this Lido.
Yeah, I hope it works. I hope it's effective, and I'm not frustrated with the marketplace. Like literally, we were trying to all put on red last night so we could match with like Red Crypto's outfit, and I can't even look something up by like red in the marketplace. Like you can't look it up by like a word, and then even looking in my backpack, I can scroll one page and then it stops. So I hope everything gets fixed at the same time. I hope those things work better too.
So there's really no reason why
one
that can't be.
sorry
Go ahead.
I wanted to add, yeah, no, what up everyone, Dr. Drip here. No, I wanted to add, shoot, what were we just talking about? So that was actually an idea. That was your idea, Kanessa. And I added a little bit to it with the marketplace hot sales and the hot swaps, and it was some stuff that I talked to Nikki about as well. And we submitted a ticket, so that is a little bit of success. That's kind of a feature that we requested. It started right here in this space, so that's pretty cool that even is on the agenda.
That is cool. I did not put two and two together. So awesome, man. Like we should offer you a quick fire sale when it comes out for like taking like initiative and making that shit happen. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I know, Scott, you had something to add, and then I wanted to talk about your VRM standalone idea. I think that's a pretty sweet idea.
Oh man, I just want to be conscious of my airtime. I've been talking a lot, so you go with it. Go for it.
Okay, cool. No, you've said a lot of really interesting points and great stuff. And what up, Aaron? Aaron was saying something when you were talking about first edition Charizards. I was like, "Ooh, he's spitting." Okay, and I was running the exact numbers through my head, what those are worth, and yeah. So I liked what you were saying about the distribution of NFTs based on actual companies stepping in and grabbing their IP and running with digital versions. But the thing that made me jump up was so Scott had this idea of a standalone VRM module. And Scott, I don't know if your idea was like something on the computer, like a client that you do, or a phone app. But let me share what it reminds me of. So first off, I've got to talk about let's talk about Vipe. Let's talk about A Kid Called Beast, and of course my beloved Artifact CloneX. All three of those projects are 3D avatar projects, and they all have content generation tools. And the reason I bring that up is because the VRM export idea might be kind of a really good outfit for us to have a standalone content generation tool. Now, I haven't used Vipes. I haven't used a kid called Beast, but I'm very aware that they have these tools where you get to connect to it and it brings up your little avatar, and you can change the background, you can do some different things with it, and then you walk away with a piece of content that you can then go post on Twitter. Um, Artifact has it's called Inventory, and it hasn't been released yet, but you're going to be able to load up your avatar and all the different they had an initial forging event where you could buy some of the clothes that your either your clone is wearing or that is based on the DNA. So if you have a human, then you can get the human t-shirt, you could get the human socks, and of course you had to pay for them, but you got physicals arrived at your doorstep. Now, you also got a digital version. Now, holding that digital version, which is just an NFT, you're going to be able to open up this inventory. And I don't even know if it's an app or if it's I don't know how it's going to be released yet. But you're going to be able to, based on all those NFTs that you're holding, you're going to be able to outfit your avatar and see it on your screen. And I'm hoping you're going to be able to make some content. That's different than the Clone X tools, which is a Blender add-on. You download this file, you load it up in Blender, and you basically point it to your zip file of your clone avatar that you downloaded. You don't have to do anything to it. You just download your 3D files. You point to it in Blender, and Blender starts putting them all together. It starts optimizing them for you. If you want, you click boxes, and it'll export a really nice VRM for you to go put into your games or digital worlds or whatever. And I know I've been kind of long-winded with this, but it's been buzzing in my head. The thing that all of those remind me of ultimately is if anybody's ever dropped into Zepeto. I haven't been in there in a while. It wasn't really for me, but I was in love with the platform and like all the things that they had. And they do have so first of all, they have their client like Decentraland has, where you go in and you hang out with friends, and they had it's a drone camera. It's essentially Decentraland's camera before we had camera. And you go into that mode and you fly around, and you can still do emotes and do different things in this camera mode, and you're taking screenshots. It also records videos in these really nice compressed MP4 files and saves it right to your, I don't know, downloads folder, whatever. So you're making not only images as your content, but you're saving video clips. So just like we do with screen grabbing or OBS or whatever, it's built into that camera mode. And then when you hop on your phone and get on the Zepeto app, it's entirely different. You're not in a metaverse of any kind, but you get to go through what's kind of like a TikTok, what's kind of like Instagram Reels, where you're selecting a pre-made video, let's say, and it has a little character on it, and it just places your character in this video, and it'll be flying through space or on top of a dragon. I don't know. I'm making it up. Um, or it'll be social, where it's a two-person scene, and so me and M would go in one of the cute romancy ones, and we'd have this really cute, and she'd go change her outfit real quick and then come back, and the video would be updated with the new outfit. And you're generating content through your phone on the go. You're using all your wearables. They have wearables too over there. It's not blockchain, but you buy it with the money that you acquire from doing the coins or whatever that you require from being active. There's like daily challenges, I think. Go buy something from the marketplace, go take a picture wearing something. I don't know, things like that. So you're acquiring coins from being in game, and you're taking pictures and content of you in that metaverse. You're sharing it easily online on your social media, and then you're going offline and taking your phone with you and still producing content and using the wearables that you love so much. So,
No, Zepeto is
oh man,
exactly what I was talking about. That's you got
okay,
it, man. I threw it out there. You caught it. Exactly.
yes,
Definitely on mobile. I mean, if you do something for mobile, it's like you can send it anywhere. It can be desktop, but yeah, I was specifically thinking about a mobile client.
It's a whole like world, like a whole scene. The fashion app, like fashion game scene. I don't know if any of you guys have played other ones like life makeover, Ifland, like especially overseas, it's huge. And that, like, we're in such a unique position where if we tapped into the fashion market like that, like if I could do it, I would I would love to, but like I don't have the skills. But Drip, you have the skills. Create the app to you that like connects to Decentraland clothes. And I mean, if we're trying to find ways to boost the marketplace, like that's it right there. Like people wanna they buy clothes when they want to show off like their clothes. I mean, vanity is it's a real thing, and like and being able to express themselves and show off like the cool combinations and make stuff look pretty. And like it would be so cool if somebody did that as an app form, but then in order to get the full meal deal, like you got to come into Decentraland. And I don't know how that would look, but it seems like then you'd tap into the mobile crowd and like somehow bring them in.
I keep thinking about, the pivot, right? It's like we don't know what the metaverse is going to be like. We keep trying to bend it to our will, and the one thing that I'm constantly reminded of when I go into that headspace is Twitter was developed by an audio company called Odeo. um, it was just like this side project thing. And then, what would happen if the person who was working on that were like, you know what? It's not really audio though. It's just text, and what? There's no market for that. Who knows? Maybe this Zepeto thing, mobile, fashion, whatever it is, maybe that's going to be all the rage, and then that breaks everything wide open. That is the entry point. That's my point. Nobody knows. This seems like it's an asset that we already have, and it would be not even necessarily a pivot. It would just be like a little side project. I don't know. I don't know.
And I'm definitely not an app developer, so I would not be the guy for that. But I appreciate that. I have been working trying to get, do I even say it? I'm trying to get burn mechanisms, and so that you could burn a wearable and then mint one, which is just a meta transaction in DCL, which I have not had any luck with. I don't know if it's broken or if it's me.
Go
If anyone has
check
like
out
poly,
Foundation.
okay,
No.
yeah,
Sorry.
I've been.
Manifold.
I'm not familiar.
Okay, Manifold. Rustan could actually talk to this too, but Manifold is an artist creators NFT service platform. So it's like studio.manifold.app. They have they've extended their platform, and their smart contracts are written in a generic fashion. You can customize them, and then if you have an NFT that you mint through their site, you can easily uh, uh, enact the burn mechanism app, and then somebody can't get your new NFT unless they go to manifold.app, burn their first NFT, and then whatever the contract works. I mean, you know how the burn mechanism works. They just have it figured out, and those are for 2D NFTs. But that gives you a way to, I guess, experience it from like this is a solution that's already ready to go. And I think that's kind of what you're looking for. And then, you could just point some developer like, okay, I want this, but for Decentraland. I hope that helps.
Right, and that sounds perfect and exactly what I want, but I want it in world, and I know people have already done it, but I think what I'm discovering is, and I don't want to keep saying the word broken, but in my experience, I've experienced that it's just the meta transactions on Polygon are not currently working. And it could be something as simple as I'm on the wrong version of SDK. I've tried a few different versions, including SDK 6. I can't get the mana burn fountain to work out of the awesome repo. So I've been in contact with Nico. He's currently on a extended weekend, he says, but I'm wondering if he's going to get me the answers, because a lot of this stuff just seems like it's not currently working. When's the last time we saw a wearable store where you pay in game with Polygon Mana. I think I saw someone do it on SDK 7. I want to
I was
say
going
it
to
was
say,
one of
talk
the
to,
last festivals.
I don't know. I know Neha had a burn mechanism. I know JTV had a burn mechanism. I would recommend that you talk to those people. But yeah,
KOA
those
had a burn mechanism. No, I
what
did. JTV's team that was actually one of the conditions of them getting their grant was they were going to open source that on request. I wanted that code. It was amazing. And now after my own research, I'm wondering if they're going to be able to deliver on that if these meta transactions are not currently working.
did they get the grant? Did the grant pass?
Yeah, no, and I know they could produce that script, but if it won't connect through ETH Connect, if that part or if some other component is not working, then how are they going to deliver a working script is what I'm scratching my head thinking. But again, who knows? It could just be me. It could be as simple as I'm waiting for Nico to write back. It could be as simple as use the not the latest, but use this special version of SDK. I don't know.
I do know
Well, definitely keep us
it's an Argentinian
posted.
holiday this weekend, so that might be like I know Thursday, Friday.
Oh,
they were on holiday.
that explains it. Yeah, he said he's on a long weekend. I was like, oh, sweet.
I mean, my other friends were also watching soccer because they were telling me Messi was playing, and so I don't know if like that kind of is like a national holiday. Maybe that's what it is. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Scott, you were gonna say something.
Oh, I just said, keep us posted, Doc, because that's exciting, right? The more options we have as creators to collaborate and connect and just innovate, combine two things together, and then you get something amazing. Like Fritos and tacos have been around for a long time. It was when whoever decided to put the taco in the Frito bag that you got a walking taco, and now they're everywhere, right? So we just need to be able to make the DCL version of a walking taco.
If anybody can do it, it's you, Scott.
I just wanted to make a shout out to CK Bubbles out there in the audience. I know you're working hard, but you're talking about Zepeto and all these different metaverses. If anybody has the deep knowledge of the different metaverses, it's CK with the Metaverse 3. All the places that you guys are talking about, they've already been, and so definitely shout out to CK.
CK, I'm glad to see you in the audience. I hope you're doing well. I know your life, you got a lot going on. So thanks for carving out a little time to be with us here today. We love you. We hope you're doing well.
Yay, CK. Sorry, I've been quiet. I saw some ants around Maki's cage and I sprung into action to murder the ants and secure the ferret.
Just something real quick. I think Biometa is in this space. He's posting a bunch of videos right now of him and Spotty and some other people in Decentraland and New York City, which is pretty epic. But bro, one of the videos you just posted, the audio I don't think is working. So if you wanted to repost it, just let you know. I know you're busy and you're listening and out in New York. So just shout out to you, bro.
Okay, looks like we're coming to a point where if I leave the space unsupervised. We have some silences sponsored by Dr. Drip. So I'm going to pose a question. Does this conclude our space for today? Shall we start to wind down, or are there any more topics that anyone would like to cover, or anyone that would like to come up and speak? You're welcome to.
I think I'm all talked out. My phone battery's at like 10%, so I'm gonna have to drop down one way or the other. Amazing space today, guys. Thank you so much for hosting, as always.
Thank you for being here, Scott.
I'd just like to say if I've acquired some new properties within Decentraland, looking to create some builds that are actually outside of my abilities. So if there's anybody down there, I can tell you one is going to be like a game like, and of course, looking to turn up the heat a little bit on my grill. So if there's somebody that would be interested in working with me on that and would like to reach out to me in my DMs, that would be great. I have tried the whole blender aspect of things, and I do okay with it. Actually, even this morning went into chat GPT, did a script, dropped the script in Blender, and it did a pretty good version of what I was looking for, but not exactly sure how to even fix it. So if there's somebody that's willing to work with me and want to step and reach out to me, that would be wonderful.
I would love to manifest old guy low poly model, but that's just me saying it under my breath where nobody can hear it. But I'm manifesting it, and maybe the universe will make that happen.
Two things real quick. One of them is for all of you guys that have been here for a while. You've been, hearing the term "play to earn." Just in case if you guys don't know, I thought it would be funny to share this. A lot of people were kind of like, which logically it is kind of a crazy thing. Like what's the point of playing to earn? It's like it gets people hyped about it for at the beginning, and then it's harder as long as you have something good, it keeps them there. But one big proof of concept that kind of really hit a huge success outside of Decentraland was on Steam. The top played game right now is a game called Banana, and it's all it is just you just click a banana, and every time you click it, the number goes up. Um, but their sell on it is that it's also play to earn. So like every 5 minutes of you doing it, you get a unique what they call it digital banana, which is literally just an NFT, but they're using a different word and they're not putting it on the blockchain. So yeah, the proof of concept is kind of hitting strides outside of the space, which is pretty funny. Some people are starting to catch on to like people are saying this is kind of similar to they say like the meme coin bros. What they mean to say is NFT space, but yeah, so it's the concepts are true. It's just got to kind of I guess hit the right markets and stuff, and it's kind of funny to see it. I think we'll continue to see more of that stuff kind of evolve, which is pretty great because we've been doing it for I think 3+ years now. So shout out to everybody working on those projects. And the second thing wanted to just kind of jump on even more with Dr. Drip, Scott, and Old Guy was talking about. I do agree with them 100%. I think using the IPs of just the aesthetics that everybody's building as emojis. I was talking about GIFs, that can be used, which is what Talks to Wife was working on, but even more just kind of reaction emotes and stuff. I think long term is kind of like a solid utility from all the stuff that we've done, and I think it will continue to provide utility outside Decentraland, and it's an identity that really kind of us have kind of over the years have kind of even I hate to use this example because I already did, but Billy T Coin, he's got the white tuxedo, the heart glasses and the fairies and the hat, and it's kind of like his identity, and same with Old Guy with his apron and stuff. So it's kind of like the more we utilize those identities outside of Decentraland, I think it's pretty cool because it's kind of it kind of continues to build their individual brands, but also I think it's kind of a fun unity type thing too as well. Like I always like to see when other people post things from Decentraland and stuff. It's kind of like that whole WAGMI back in the day term. I think I like to continue to see it grow. And last thing I want to rant on, just because it's just like a personal thing. that I've been going through. But finally, with Waifu 1 Gen 2, we've been running tests yesterday, and finally it started to show up on the menu. But the damn things weren't working, so we're still fixing that. And I think Vanessa's right. I think the reason why that I haven't gotten a response in the past couple of days is because they're having holidays. But hopefully that'll be finally deployed in the next couple of weeks. So fingers crossed on that too as well.
You're gonna get like a stamina award at the end of this, Aaron, because you haven't given up. So keep going.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. You're 1,000% right. And everyone that's been working with us on this, shout out to all them too as well, because I know that like they're kind of tired of hearing about it. But I'm like, it's all good. We're gonna do it. Like I don't give a shit if like our grandchildren got to work on it. It's gonna get done.
Love it, love it. Big shout out to you, Aaron. Thank you for the update. Let's see. Did we get our final thought from Dr. Drip?
Oh, final thoughts. I should talk about the Game Jam stuff real quick. Or not the Game Jam. I got last place in Game Jam. Let me tell you guys, if you're wondering how you get last place in Game Jam, no, it's okay. It's okay. We're not sad about it. It's funny. No, it was incomplete. So you submit an incomplete game and you just walk right past the theme. Just disregard the theme entirely, and that's how. But it's still it was a decent proof of concept. And I wanted to talk about real quick for the Game Expo, which is featuring my last year's Game Jam submission. So those are they're gonna have booths, and in the booths are going to be some wearable dispensers to get 2 new kites that I made real quick, and they're pretty sick looking. But you could claim those kites right now if you wanted. So Sin, I haven't finished my chicken coop. Like a couple weeks ago, I was up here talking about a chicken coop. I was procrastinating. I've still been
Yeah.
procrastinating, and I've been digging deep into DCL again because I was excited by the new version of SDK. There's been an update with some UI updates and stuff. So I jumped in and I got the reward server working. So you can go to cavern.dcl.eth is the realm, and if you run through that quest, my last year's Game Jam submission, and get to the end of it, then you will get from the Decentraland reward server one of those kites early, and you'll still be able to claim it at the booth. But then it's gonna forward you over to Keep Away, which was this year's Game Jam, just a proof of concept. And if you just go through and complete 3 rounds of that, then you'll get taken up to an area where you can click to claim another new kite. So if you want to get both of them early, you could do that right now. But that's what I've been doing. I've been digging deep into DCL SDK. I've been working closely with Lastrum and Mies and the Last Slice team and that's part of why I'm digging so deep, because I'm part of the game design team. So I need to know how this stuff works. I really need to know how triggers and actions and all these different functions can be triggered within not only from visual code exported stuff, SDK exported stuff, but also from within the native builder. And so that's why I'm digging really deep. I've been really busy, but yeah, I'm cooking to say the least. But yeah, check out Cavern. The realm is Cavern. But that's all I got. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Dr. Drip. Oh, Vanessa, did you open your mic?
Yeah, no, thank you. That sounds awesome, and I love like seeing you do that. I mean, last place maybe this year. I love your explanation too. That I'm gonna have to check it out and look at the themes then and be like, okay, what is he talking about? Because like totally ignoring themes sounds awesome. I like that. But cool. And do you know what day it officially starts? I know we pinned it up above, but it's just really hard to like read.
The 26th through the 29th Yeah.
All right. So that is shit. What day is that? I don't. I'm having a hard time bringing my calendar. Anyway. Okay, I won't do the math publicly, but soon. Soon. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep. And yeah, any final thoughts for you, Canessa?
Just thank you everybody for inputting, giving input and building and contributing in their own way. You guys do so much. So thank you.
Yes, exactly. These spaces wouldn't be anything without our friends. We always say we'd be sitting here for about an hour talking to ourselves, and it's like, okay, bye. So yeah, everyone's contributions do make this special. Um, and yeah, just want to thank every one of you that stuck by today and came up and spoke, and to all the new listeners that came in and hung out for a few hours, as well as the new speakers that we met. Hopefully, Chaz Gold, manages to do something do something on Decentraland, get his wearables in there, as well as what was his name? Rob Dimes. Rob Dimes. Yeah, good luck with independent music universe, and yeah, we'll be back next week, and then the week after, and the week after, and eventually we shall see all the development. Uh, Take care, everyone. Oh wait, what am I seeing here? Uh, oh,
I
I
did
don't
have one
think.
more thing I wanted to say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Scott.
So yeah, I got the Farhouse thing figured out. I tagged everybody over on Farcaster for the last one, but yeah, if you can come roll up, what did we say? 6:30 Eastern time
6:30.
Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah.
6:30
So
Wednesday Eastern time.
over on Farcaster, Sinful and I will be there. We'll be talking about DCL. Come join us, and if you need a special invite code, hit me up in the DMs. I'd love to have you come over and listen to us there.
Yes, thank you, Scott, for coming up and and putting in the reminder. As well as, I mean, you do have those open slots to anyone that would like to try Farhouse. Just DM Scott, and he'll get you hooked up.
Could we do like a FAFO, Scott? Like I want to do it, but just like I don't know. Sometimes I just little bit of
Yeah,
hand holding
absolutely.
is like it helps.
Farhouse or Farcaster onboarding FAFO. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, because
Love
there was
it.
some point I got to and I couldn't get past it. It's like with my wallet and then I got distracted by shiny things and then I think I tried again later and it still didn't work. So maybe it's just a personal issue.
Canessa, I'm 100% with you on there. I remember there was something I DM'd Scott about. He says, yeah, last week you did it like this. This week you're doing it like this. And, well, in the future, it's probably going to be done differently. That's how fast this platform is moving forward. So having an expert or somebody that's been in as long as Scott and getting their knowledge is really the way to go.
For sure. And yeah, I guess my final thoughts. Thank you, everyone. Or I already said my final thoughts. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you back next week. This week on Beyond the NFT, we will be back at Meta One Design headquarters, and we have Longshot from Pixel Palette Nation joining us on the show. So yeah, make sure to tune in, get your Mew bubbles ready and your Mew auras.
Oh, I have one more thing.
Take care.
Sorry. I have one more thing. If you
What's
haven't
up?
signed up for the private alpha, you got to sign up for that soon. You got to go do it. It's everybody can sign up for it. It's on the Decentraland page, but please raise your hand if you've signed up for it. Because you got to go signed up for. Okay, good. I'm glad some people have. Yeah, sign up for that soon. there is a cutoff date, and nobody wants to be left out. So that's all.
That's all. Move on. Carry on. All right. So I'm gonna keep working on securing the area for the little one over here. I'm kind of like one of those like tinfoil hat moms over here with my with Maki that like I'm like, oh, I'm spraying bug spray, but I don't want her to be around it, and I don't want her to be even visible or anywhere near until it's all evaporated and it's been 2 hours and all the oxygen has cycled out of the house and
Make sure you get like the PVA free plastic for her also, and organic kibbles.
organic kibbles. She does have some high-end kibbles, I have been
Are
told.
they
The
non-GMO?
stuff that I think so
Okay.
actually. Because like when she came home, she I guess she had been eating this other like ferret food brand, and it was like her poops were disgusting. And then like I've been like slowly changing her to this kind the kind that Oreo is eating, and her poops are looking quite better, healthier, less stinky. Yeah.
Great way to end the show.
Yes, yes. Talk about my talk about my ferret's poops, the consistency, the density. Uh, anyway, yeah. Take care, everyone. Love you all. See you back here next week at noon Eastern. Bye. Thank you all. And I'm gonna play a little music on Decentraland, and I'll probably stream or raid someone here on any streaming platforms. Thank you. Hey Mal, I see you. 13. Take care, everyone.